Alrighty, hello, all of you wonderful people. It's your boy Ryan here, and today I have my lovely co-host. You've seen him before plenty of times on the Rift, and now you get to see him behind the scenes casting. Chaos, welcome back, my friend. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing so well, thanks, Rylan. I'm ready for some fantastic Elder Upper matches tonight. Tonight we have Church of Hjalte going up against the Boundless Maw, two very coveted rosters, very good players that have been in the previous season. They have made names for themselves. Oh man, I'm pumped, Rylan. How are you doing tonight?
Dude, I am also beyond pumped. I mean, my cortisol levels also got elevated a little bit before this stream because it started a little bit sooner than I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be. It's all right, though, because we got it figured out, and we are here. And Elder Division, this is actually the second Elder Division game that we have had the pleasure of streaming here. So, I'm very much looking forward to both these teams. I've seen this coach's name before. He's not on the team, but Hjalte himself has done such a phenomenal job in the community. I am so happy to actually to see a whole team dedicated to him because he is very effective as a coach. I've had the pleasure of just sitting on just a couple of minutes of him sometimes, and it's just like I really need to dedicate a lot of time to him. So this is for you, Hjalte. Good luck. But Boundless Maw is a relatively newer team name to me personally. I know you know a couple of the people on there, but just looking at these two and through the first week and a couple of scrims and stuff like that, how are you feeling about this matchup before we even do like any drafts or anything like that?
Yeah, so I think both these rosters have some fantastic names to them. Obviously, we got Joe Mama on the side, a Boundless Maw, I think. And then we also have Monkey Moki that were on, some of the winning rosters, or at least some of the top rosters in the previous season. And then over on the side of Church of Hjalte, obviously you have Shu. We also have Liver. Again, some really good names. Just strictly, I think from the OPGGs, the way that the ELO calculation is done and where the power rankings are done, I think that the Church of Hjalte is a little bit higher. I could be wrong. But I think that this match is gonna be really explosive in the bot lane. That's what I'm gonna be looking for. How they're drafting, how they're playing around, getting the 80 carries ahead, and how much you can. Chu just messaged me. Kjelt is Joe Mama, so we got two insane coaches on one team. That's crazy. So, but yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to the bot lane of this game. Obviously, as an ADC myself, this is gonna be my point of contention. But I also do think that the better bot lane is going to be the person who's going to win. That's my guess, but I guess we'll see.
Well, and speaking of bot lane, this whole APC meta thing, I mean, I am not a big fan of it personally. I hate going against AP. I hate having AP if I have if I'm support or something like that. I just feel like it's underwhelming when I am playing with it. I feel like it's overwhelming when I'm versing it. Do you expect to see a lot of APCs here tonight? I definitely do.
I hope to God not. I don't think Monkey and Shu are APC players, and if either of you guys play APC tonight, if you're listening to this, you guys are dead to me. I think I regard you as better ADCs than that. Do not play APCs. That being said, I know that there are some people out there, Marzipan, that force their ADC to play APCs for the teams so that Marzipan can just roam. I don't think the supports are also like that, but I don't know. We'll see. We are in draft here, so like right off the start, are you looking for anything besides the APC bot lanes?
Oh, I mean, it kind of varies, especially with like the junglers, right? A lot of times you see those traditional junglers, J4, Wukong, Xin Zhao. Those are what you typically see. But I'd like to see a little bit of the expansion. I want to see some Pantheon play. Pantheon jungle has been impressive. Not gonna lie, I also like to see some Shen or Zed. I've seen both of those played recently. It would just be different. I don't know if it's exactly good in terms of competitive play. And I know definitely in the Elder Division, if you give an inch, they'll take a mile in terms of like weakness. So hopefully we see some competitiveness and hopefully we just see some like traditional comps. But outside of, bot lane APC, nothing really standing out to me personally. Neferi, I don't think has been as relevant the last couple of weeks as she was before. So we've kind of seen her die down a little bit in the mid lane there. But those assassins are still definitely on the rise as well in the mid lane.
Yeah, so I guess to that point, there's a couple things I want to bring up in the draft already. Some big kind of picks and bans here. So Church of Held bans, Kiana against Liver. Just looking from his OPGG, he does play it really well in both the mid and jungle position. And then obviously Yunara also banned against Shu. From the side of Boundless Maw, they banned out the Aurelion Soul for Moki, banned out the Caitlyn for Monkey. So I think some good bans coming out. The B1 Ezreal comes out pretty safe pick. I think Ezreal is a champion I think it depends on the player. I think she is a really good pilot of it. So I guess we'll see how that goes. And then they answer with the Karma Seraphine, and I hope to God that's a Seraphine flexing mid, and we're not going to see like a double APC bot lane. But I will say that Ezreal is a good pick into this APC meta because he can farm safely, he can weak side, he has mobility. So I guess we'll see where if they decide to flex any of these champions, Nico comes out again. We're just going. We see very long range poke style bot lane, so I think both teams are going to be looking for some kind of engage in the jungle. So yeah, Jarvan
Yep.
makes perfect sense.
Nocturne.
Jarvan Nico's a really good combination. Jarvan can lock down the immobile Karma Seraphine. So I guess this is where Hjalte can decide if they want to counter engage with engage or if they want to play this kind of run away and like sustain out the poke and then play counter engage. They can go for like a Poppy here. They can go for Xin here. That's kind of what I'm looking to see.
Well, if it is a Karma Seraphine bot lane, and it is the Ezreal, of course, going to be ADC for Boundless here, do you expect Nico to do a lot more roaming instead of trying to stay in lane and make sure that the 2v2 is okay? Because as we get up higher in ranks, I start to see, more towards the lower end, like where I'm playing at, like that gold, silver elo, those bot laners typically stay in their lanes, right? It's a traditional, like, two-man bot lane, one jungle, one mid, one top. As I kind of go up and I'm starting to see more and learn more, you kind of see like the bot laner support usually just starts roaming around level
Yeah.
3, level 4. And, when you have ADCs like Ezreal who are playing safe, poking, and especially if you're playing into someone heavy who's just going to be pushing Karma Seraphine, does that kind of change it, or do you think Nico's going to be sticking more into the lane, just trying to make sure that he's not getting dove pretty much at this point?
I I think if Nico sits in lane this game, I think Boundless Maw's support is griefing. Like I think
Agreed.
Nico has to move. Like you're not gonna get anything done in this bot lane. It's Ezreal into Karma Seraphine. You're never gonna kill anybody.
Yep.
The way that you're gonna kill somebody is by using Nico's roaming and information mental stack overloading kit to affect other lanes. So we see the Zen coming out from the Karma Seraphine, or from Church of Hjalte's side. Syndra Mel's fantastic band. Syndra's a really good band, especially Syndra into Ahri's really good. And then Boundless Maw bans a couple top laners in response. So again, I'm looking for some kind of maybe scaling or like power mid. I think Victor's really good here. Lissandra is pretty good here. Maybe Hui or something like that. Silas is also really good
Ooh,
here.
yes.
Silas is a fantastic pick, and now like the Nico Jarvan Silas core 3. Like we've talked about a lot about the core 4s before because top lane's kind of on an isolated island, and then we talk about like what the core 4 looks like in terms of the Drake setup and the bot lane fights. But nowadays it's what ADCs are self-sufficient in lane and how much can the jungle support mid lane affect the map together. And I think Jarvan Nico Silas is fantastic. So to round out the pick with Mbessa, really good. They already have a good amount of lockdown into double immobile targets. Mbessa can get a lot of value. What is Church of Hell going to do here? Oh, wait, that's
Oh,
mighty.
the Irelia. And I don't like how AP heavy they are on Church a little bit. Karma, Seraphine, Ahri, that's a lot of reliance on the AP. I like the spread that they have on Boundless. Ezreal's kind of a little bit of mixture. J4 and Bessa, like you said, just locked down there. With the Irelia now being locked in for Church, was that the pick you were expecting or hoping that they'd go for?
I don't know what I was expecting because Renekton's a typical answer. But I do like that they're picking. Okay, so I don't know how this matchup goes. I think Aurelia wins because Mbessa's cooldowns are very high early.
Right.
But Mbessa also has a lot of dashes, so I think if Mbessa uses her cooldowns too much on the wave, then Aurelia should be able to run the Mbessa down the long lane. And I do like that they're both picking carry top laners instead of tank top laners because with Ezreal, you can weak side him, and especially when we're in this roaming support meta, I kind of want to see both junglers path top and try to make this, I would say, a pretty volatile Mbessa Aurelia matchup favored to their team. And then they're going to have a lot of backup around, especially if Aurelia gets ahead. Aurelia has a Karma and a Seraphine behind them in the mid to late game fight. So this is gonna be funny, or this is gonna be fun. I want to see how the top lane goes out. I think I said I wanted to see how the bot lane goes before the draft, but now looking at the draft, I want to see how the top lane plays out.
Got you. So is the win con for Church, are you saying like more the Ahri Irelia, just make sure those don't fall behind, and then just try to carry like snowball early on and then just carry from there? Or is it more towards like Xin Zhao, Seraphine, like we got to just try to play around them, protect the Seraphine comp, and then just try to do some kind of late game, I guess, pick if we can. I don't really know what Church's like comp really does here, to be honest, except for picking. I don't know how well they work in team fight aspects compared to the Boundless here, who Mbessa just has to get, a nice little flank off. She can go onto the back line. Silas steals the Seraphine ulti there. That's a perfect encore. In addition to, like, Nico's, like, they have so much better wombo potential, I think, for Boundless Small. I just don't see the potential team fight later on in the game for Church outside of maybe, like, a Seraphine Ari Irelia pick, like one or two individuals at most.
So the way that I see the team fights playing out is Boundless Maw's comp has a lot of front-loaded damage with like J4 EQR, Nico ER, right? So and then like Mbessa ult, Silas initial burst, right? So what they ideally want to do is try to find someone and pick them. And then if Church Hjalte can't die, if they can't kill someone from Church's team immediately, then the Karma and Seraphine shields are going to be immense to the point that a fully Conqueror stacked Aurelia and a fully Conqueror stacked Xin Zhao should be able to put out so much consistent damage, and with again backing of the heals and shields, that Church's team would be able to win. Now, Church's team has some tools to set up. They don't have a lot though. They have maybe like a Xin like into like E knockup, but trying to knock up anybody on not Boundless Maw's team is basically impossible with the amount of mobility they have. Then you have Ari Charm, which again, same reason, is going to be kind of difficult. And then maybe like a Seraphine ult. So I really think it's going to come down to, can Boundless Small find somebody and kill them before Church of Hjalte's team can just protect them and peel them and then win the back end of the fight? That's the way I see the fights playing out.
Gotcha. And is a Serpent's Fang angle even possible, or anything along those lines for Boundless Maw to deal with the shielding that they have on Church? And if so,
Absolutely.
I would say what? J4 probably prioritizes that over Mbessa, or is this like an Mbessa look here?
I think it's better for Mbessa to get it because J4 typically wants to build a little bit more bruisery, with maybe like Sundered Sky, Black Cleaver, stuff like that. I think J4 can get it, but he's also not the best applier of it. Mbessa has like AoE all over her kit, and she wants to dive onto the back line, which is where Karma and Seraphine shields are going to be most effective. So I would imagine Mbessa gets it, but I mean, she also doesn't need it in lane. This is probably going to be more, if she does get it, it's probably going to be more second, third, maybe fourth item. So I would say later into the game, especially when the big team fights where everyone hits level 16, everyone has like 3-4 items. That's when it's going to matter the most.
That makes sense. And so we've done a lot of analyzing, and I have really liked your in-depth look on both of the teams and like what their potentials are, what their pros, what their cons are for both of them. And it's really, of course, going to be up to the players at the end of the day how they decide to do, the execution of everything that you are giving them, essentially. But all the channel points on the world, who are you going with as the victors for game number 1 here?
Oh, dude, that's so tough. Usually I feel pretty confident looking at the drafts. I honestly see it being 50-50. I think both drafts have really good win cons. I think it comes down to execution. So it comes down to the players. If that's the case, I'm gonna give it like 51-49 to Boundless Maw for game 1.
Okay, I do that too. I say like 52-48, 51, like slightly in favor. I do like the comp of Boundless Maw just a little bit more. And when you pointed out all the things for Church, I was like, okay, actually, great point. If they're not able to get through the shields or the heals of anything, like it's just going to be a bad time after their initial burst, right? But I just feel like they have enough there from Boundless to really be able to pick the people that they need to win these team fights overall, get the objectives that they're like looking for, either in the Dragon Pit or around the Baron and stuff like that. And I don't know, that Silas pick is just a huge thorn in the side to almost any competitive comp. It does not matter, but this one specifically has a slight more issue because of that Seraphine, in my opinion. But I am going to go 52-48, Boundless Maw, just a little bit more there. But
trying to one-up me, right?
just a little bit. But let your guys' voices be heard. We do have the predictions up and live. We are going to go ahead and cut it to a short little intermission, though, while we get ready for the in-game delay and everything. So do not go anywhere. Your boy, Rye Lion and Chaos, will be right back. Alrighty, like I said, very short intermission here. Welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It's your boy Ryline here with Chaos. Game number 1 between Church of Hjalte and Boundless Ma. And it's Ma on blue, Church on red side. You want to go ahead and break down the champions and their players for us, starting on the blue side, Chaos?
Yeah, so on the blue side, we have Balance Small. We have Dragoon in the top lane playing Ambessa. We have Liver in the jungle playing J4. We have Dat Perps in the mid lane playing Silas. And then the bot lane is going to be Shula Grace on Ezreal and Bob Killer 521 on the Nico.
Beautiful. Awesome. And for Boundless Maw here on red side, we do have Marshall in the top lane with Irelia, Joe Mama with Xin Zhao in the jungle, Moki on Ahri in the mid lane, Monkey on Seraphine, APC, and Logistics Max Win on the Karma support. And, looking at Runes and Masteries, I'm not seeing anything like that's standing out as like, whoa, this is crazy, not off meta. So everything looks pretty traditional on both sides here for me. Anything to you that stands out? I don't really say anything.
I think one thing I'm not a fan of is the Ezreal going cleanse. Like, you're not going to get that much cleanse value in lane if you're getting hit by double Seraphine E. I think that's just misplaying. RE, same thing. And then everybody else has no CC. I actually would have liked to see the Ezreal go TP. Ezreal is one of those champions that values a tier reset. So getting your early reset, always staying on the map, stacking your tier could be something good. So other than that, and then also I generally am not a fan of supports going Ignite in competitive. I think Ignite is more of a kill-oriented rune. I think you get a lot more value off of exhaust and healing fights, but I could be wrong. I mean, Ignite is obviously very good into the rest of Church of Hjalte's teams. They have a lot of sustain. So I think those are the only two summoners that I would say are maybe a little bit, maybe Grasp and Bessa is something to talk about. Like, she doesn't have Conquer, right? So
yeah,
the idea of sustained fights isn't going to be. But other than that, I think everything is pretty stock standard. I think the thing that I'm looking at right now, just right off the start, is what I talked about, right? Xin and Jarvan are both pathing top. They're trying to affect this super volatile, really Bessa matchup. I think Grubs is really good. I generally do not like Grubs. I think it's very reliant on the team that you're on, if your team can make use of Grubs or not. I think both teams can make use of Grubs pretty effectively. Not to say that Dragon Stacking is necessarily bad, but playing for the top neutrals is going to be good. So I want to see how the first couple sequences play out. We see that Aurelia already got a reset off, so has a little bit of pressure in the first couple levels. So this first couple sequences, like seeing how the supports move in jungle game, stuff like that, that's what I'm looking for right now.
Got you. Okay, and I mean, with Nico having that Ignite, it gives a little bit of pressure, but like you said, later on in game, that Exhaust, I mean, it has exponentially more value, in my opinion. That 40% damage reduction, the slow, everything about it, and they have some pretty big names to go up against here, and CS lead is actually starting to creep up a little bit here in the mid lane for Moki against Silas. That's just that range versus melee matchup here. But where do you said most of the action you were expecting? Hold on one second. Okay, we have Joe Mama with a nice little, he's not camping in the top lane, I would say, but definitely sticking a little bit more time up there. Good charm back into the mid lane for an engage from Dat Perps. Should probably get the names pulled up here as well for the people.
Yeah, so like what I'm looking at right now, there's a couple things that we want to talk about. The first is Aurelia is winning in the isolated 1v1 matchup even before the Xin ganks. But because the Xin Zhao tried to make a play on the top side, Jarvan was able to double scuttle, which means now Jarvan is like pretty ahead in tempo, and is, I don't think they get level 6 off of their second full player anymore, but I think it's going to be much better for maybe like a second sequence top play when J4 gets ultimate. So like when J4 finishes the second clear, I'm expecting a lot more to happen top lane. Mid is getting a slight CS lead on the side of Arya. Again, I don't really know too much about mid lane if that's normal or not. And then bot lane is pretty standard. Interestingly enough, Ezreal was, I say interestingly enough, it's actually expected that Ezreal gets pushed in this lane because he can actually push, he has lethal tempo, he's going to do a lot more than APCs early until APCs start hitting their chapters. So Ezreal gets an early reset, gets his double scaling runes. This is about the time where I want to see the support start getting out of lane. When both, bot laners have tier and they're just looking to AFK farm. Especially if the Nico and the Karma can get to top lane the next minute to affect the second sequence J4 gank, that could be huge.
Gotcha. No, definitely. And he is looking for the mid lane right now, trying to get a sneaky little flank off here on Ahri, who has no sums available and not level 6 yet.
Yeah.
Holding on to the charm. Has to be careful, though. Here comes Xin Zhao to go ahead and try to help his friend. Almost one more auto. Yes, he gets it. There we go. Dat Perp's first blood of the game at 5 minutes finally here. And, yep, hold on a second. Xin Zhao said, I can take this Q if need be. Has low mana. Has to be careful. Xin almost in a 2v1 situation, but does go ahead and get him off the tower. So I think that was at least a good pickup, and oh, never mind. They're going right back into it from top to mid lane. They are just duking it out, it seems like, and Zen trying to get as much as he can off before Ahri comes back. But damn, that was... I don't know if Ahri should have been pushed up that far, though, of course, without being level 6 and no flash after just getting ganked, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what happened where I didn't even notice that Ahri didn't have flash before the gank. I thought she was fine, and then until you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, that's you, because now it's a pre-level 6 Ahri with no flash. So maybe some good trades on the side of the perps. Good transition gank from Liver to go from the Raptors into a mid gank. Now you could see now he's potentially looking top, or maybe doing bot camps. Yeah, looks like there's a top play.
Yes, there is. Oh my god. Okay, Irelia finding herself on the wrong side of the lane. Unfortunately, pops the ultimate, tries to slow, but I think only denying the inevitable. Great movement, though. Hold on 1 second. Gets the stun off, and down goes Liver. Turning her attention with those Conqueror stacks at full speed. Almost gets Mbessa, but still a 1-for-0 in a 2v1 situation, and getting even on the board there. Great job from Marshall on the top side.
Yeah, the Mbessa critically missed her ultimate there, that public execution, so Aurelia was able to dash through it and then was able to focus down the J4 that has no EQ, no dashes. So huge play. This R5 Aurelia is really putting in numbers. I think if the rest of Church of Hjalte's map is able to stabilize, I mean, bot lane is pretty much neutral, and mid is also up 20 CS on the side of Ahri, so far it's looking pretty good for Church of Hjalte. But before we even get to that camp, I was going to say that Jarvan has already exerted a lot of pressure on the map, was able to double scuttle, was able to affect a mid play. So if that top play worked out, it would have been a massive early game lead. Still super, both sides are still very even, but now this third sequence when Drake is coming up, that's going to be something to talk about. Are they going to play the Drake, or are they going to sack the Drake to go for the grubs? So I want to look out for that now.
Absolutely, and they have some good vision starting off. Drake's not going to be up for another about 4 minutes, though, so, they're just trying to get the feelers out. First Dragon already secured here, it looks like, for Church. Getting, not first blood. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, Dragon was taken earlier there just a little bit, 40 seconds ago. Yeah, direct-to-camera has a mind of its own in this lovely little view that we get. But, early Drakes are good. They're up by about 300 gold, so not too much of like a gold lead there. CS-wise, though, look at Irelia and look at Ahri. That is a pretty sizable CS lead that they are starting to get right now. And looking for a... Oh, I was going to say that's a lane gate, but never mind. A little Nico clone there. With that being said, even though she did 0-1, still even in gold, so, 25 to 2,700. Oh, God, yeah, finding himself. Xin Zhao, has to pop the ulti with the Cataclysm, along with a nice little roam there from Dat Perps. Yeah, that's, the map awareness is really good, I think, for the side of Maw. Plus that deep vision there, they're able to know exactly where the jungler's at. They know exactly what he's trying to do, and information is power when it comes to knowing the pathing of the enemy jungler there.
Yeah, I would say that's an uncharacteristic mistake by Joe Mama. He should know that Sylas is off map because Ahri, obviously Sylas is in mid lane. That play is potentially possible. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, what a
nice
root.
Flash.
And yeah, beautiful flash at the last second there from Bob Killer.
Yeah, so, I mean, that play aside, I think that's a bit of a miss. I think we want to wait for the Ahri to get shoved and to, protect the camps. In the end, it's not, again, this is pretty early game, so it's nothing critical. They were able to get a dragon as a trade for the top play. I think that's what happened. So, still pretty good. We see a 300 gold lead at the side of Church of Hjalte for now. Grubs was taken by the J4, so still pretty even on both sides.
Yep, taking objective for objective, dragon for grubs. Like you said, those neutral ones, I'm not a big fan of them personally. And hold on 1 second, Irelia going all in here on the Mbessa with Xin Zhao in tow as well. Could finish it with the dive, but nope. Wants to go ahead and forces the flash at least from there, and she's just taking any little bit of that lead that she can get and just expanding it even further now. 1-0, 90 CS. And okay, we have Xin Zhao trying to get the scuttle away from Xin here, but he has to be careful. Sylas is coming up for a potential collapse as well, but they do have Ahri and Irelia in hand, and that 3v2 you will not win probably.
Yeah, this is great. This Aurelia R5 is putting in numbers. The wave I feel like is permanently frozen, forcing Mbessa to walk up, but then Aurelia loves to run people down the long lane, climbing up the waves just like a Yasuo does. That there's a 50 CS lead at 10 minutes into the game. Xin Zhao, whenever he wants to play top, he's always going to have prio. I want to say that, the one thing that I feel like is a miss so far on the side of Church of Hjalte is I really would have liked the Karma to roam more. I don't think this bot lane needs to be an AFK 2v2 farm fest. Seraphine is fine. Just start making plays, and to get this Aurelia super ahead. Like, this Aurelia win con is like so strong in this game.
I mean, I was going to say, I was like, so the win con has definitely changed a little bit, I think. So we're not going to be pivoting towards that bot lane, probably sticking with the Irelia here. And sometimes, like you had mentioned the matchup, sometimes it's not even about the matchup. It's just about comfort picks, really, because Irelia seems pretty comfortable into this Embezzle right now and is showing out 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a world where Mbessa can win this matchup, but I am not a good enough top laner to explain how. I'm just looking at the top lane wave state, and I'm like, this Mbessa actually just wants to cry, because, you know, there's not that much help that's being made, because I feel like most of Jarvan's attention has been going into the mid lane, and like invades and stuff like that. At some point, it will come back to bite them. This Aurelia is going to be a raid boss, and I don't think that there's anyone that can properly deal with the Aurelia this game. Top
gank potential also happening simultaneously in the bot lane. Nice ulti for ulti being popped here. Now Aurelia is somehow only half health in the 2v1 in the top lane. This directed camera is absolutely killing me. I got to take control of this thing because we need to see one fight at a time. So we'll stick to top lane here. Potential gank coming in from Xin Zhao and Ahri. We do have our way, it looks like, the bot side here, just getting J4 off his camps, and I can't argue with that, but they do have the rest of Boundless on the way. Okay, Xin Zhao might be caught out here, gets out of the knockup, has to pop the ultimate as well, focuses on, but Mbessa with the ulti as well, just a cataclysm. Mbessa ulti on the lockdown is just too good. Ahri trying to provide any support she can, but needs to make it out of there. Double kill being picked up by the Mbessa, so she was behind in lane, no longer able, or no longer behind, at least not that far, as Aurelia is taken down. Still a 50 CS difference, but those 2 kills make up a whole lot of time and gold for her.
Yeah, the Xin Zhao didn't have flash there, so it was really easy for them to catch onto the Xin Zhao. Since Aurelia still needs to come around the long way, then Aurelia ended up missing her ultimate, and then from that point, it was disastrous. So they had the prio top lane to make those types of plays, but they didn't technically have prio if the top laner doesn't come down. So a bit of maybe like miscommunication for that top lane. So it gives the Mbessa 2 kills to get back into the game. Now Dragon goes on the side of Boundless Small as well, so pretty even match of Nico's dead here.
Oh no! That was such an unfortunate button combination there for Liver. He doesn't have the cooldowns, not yet, not ready with the E, and yeah, he's just caught in his own. He jumped over the wall, hit the blasting cone, had to flash back over the wall. That was so unfortunate.
That is, we gotta clip that.
Just
someone
a
in the
little
chat
bit.
clip it, please. But no, that's unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's not like a chronic mistake, right? It's just, you know, it is what it is. They did end up getting the Drake. I mean, I think the bigger issue is that J4 now doesn't have flash, so the engage is going to be a little bit slower. But they did end up getting the dragon. So 13 minutes into the game, not even a 1k gold lead to either side. Objectives fairly even, lanes fairly even. I think it's going to come down, I think, mostly to some of these mid-game skirmishes to see who actually can start breaking open the game. Not even a turret's dropped. Plate's barely taken. Pretty even so far.
Yes, sir-ree. I mean, yeah, 1-on-1 Drake. You know, the grubs were picked up earlier there. So, and they're also not allowing the Irelia to snowball as hard. I thought, okay, you know, she's got 1 kill. She's up 50 CS. She's going to be, you know, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Like you said, raid boss status. But they're doing a good job of trying to suppress her at least. You know, with that, at least that last team fight. And getting 2-0 on the Mbessa, just so it's like, okay, hold your own for a little bit. We'll be back for another game because Irelia will be pushed up. Look at her. That's all she did. Just Q hops all over the place, right? But these bot laners are just sticking to the bot lane. Hold on. We have another engage. Again, fighting in the jungle. This J4 not giving any breathing room. And onto the bot lane as well. Nice pop blossom off. Onto the Karma. Does land the kill there for Ezreal. Almost gets taken down as well with the perfect encore by Monkey. But unfortunately, no follow-up damage or no other spells are able to be used. Has to wait for cooldowns and able to make it out. Unfortunate. But still able to hold her own at least. Or Monkey, not her, but, you know, the champion Seraphine.
Yeah. Very, very close on that bot fight. I think it could have gone either way. It could have been a 1-for-1 trade, but I do think that Monkey is a little bit...
Oh, man. Oh, another fight. These guys don't want to give you any kind of time to analytical nothing. And
Okay.
Bessa, oh my god, ulti's in, and that 2-0 turns to 2-0-2 as J4 picks up one of the kills as well. So 2-for-0 in that team fight. Ari trying to find Silas, getting picked out here. Karma is on the way as well. J4 is his only ally, and oh my god, Silas is not taking anything sitting down though. Here comes J4, gets rooted by the Karma, has to turn around, wait for cooldowns, and definitely does not want to continue this fight. That was a really good turnaround there from Dat Perps. I thought they were able to secure, oh my god, not looking what you're doing.
Oh no, monkey.
But it's Nico though, so Nico support, not too bad.
Yeah, okay, so the issue with that fight again is the same issue that in the previous fight where Mbessa got a double kill, is that these fights are numbers disadvantage. Like, even though you might have prio, if you're not actually on top of your team as a 3-man unit,
Right.
the fights are exactly what we're seeing, right? Like, we're seeing what I mentioned in draft is that J4 is going to go in, Silas is going to go in, and Bess is going to go in. If they can kill one person immediately, then they're going to have a numbers advantage for the rest of the fight. But for all these fights, you know, in the first fight, Aurelia was still hitting a turret. This time, Ari wasn't there. So it's always like a 3v2 when they should have prio in these situations. So I think if Church of Hjalte plays a little bit slower, waits for the team, and then when the team is together, then they could just take full all-in. That's going to be a little bit better for them.
Oh, yeah, no, you can keep on talking when they're in the middle of fighting too. They're always going to be fighting. These guys are not stopping. We could give some time to look at numbers and stuff too. These guys are
I still remember the last time Ryline where I literally could not say one sentence without a fight happening in any lane, and I think I'm a little bit scarred. This game is a little bit slower though, so they're playing a little bit better. So yeah, I just want to see people playing with the numbers advantage a little bit more proactively. Like, just because you have prio doesn't mean you have a numbers advantage. You actually have to group up. And then, but I do like the way. Oh, there's a fight for sure.
Yeah, that was a questionable teleport there from Silas to the bot side. Oh my god, what a knockup. What a great cataclysm there. Again from Liver. Just the timing is unreal. Everyone disperses on the side of Church. And hold on one second, on the top side, we do have Irelia with the tower dive. The shields are coming through from Mbessa with the Eclipse, and the walk down back, guys. Or they don't look at explosions, they just walk away from them. Back to the bot lane, though. We have two members of Church really, really low, as the other three members are dead right now. So it is just these two left before the ace. And Nico looking to go ahead and try to lower him a little bit further. I don't know if they actually want to commit to the tower dive or not. And it looks like they do. Okay, we have Silas, we have J4, pretty low. Death timers are still about 3 seconds up for Zen. Oh yeah, no, they're committing, they're going for it. They have the damages. Great setup there from Bob Killer just to go ahead and assist and get those kills. Karma, also the one getting the kill, is not a bad, the best of the worst case scenario right there for Boundless Maw.
Yeah, that was basically an effective ace from Boundless Maw. We saw the 1v1 outplay by the Mbessa, then we saw the TP by Silas to J for EQR was amazing to lock down both Karma and Seraphine. And then, again, just what I said, they're able to kill people, or Boundless Maw is able to kill people on the side of Church of Hjalte before the rest of Church of Hjalte is able to stay alive and win the counterfight. So when your team has a lot of ability to fight, and like we have a lot more engage tools.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of fighting, Zen is just not. I don't know if he was looking for an invade to try to get something sneaky off, but he should not have been on that side of the map at all.
Yeah, I think he thought that the bot play was over tempoed, so he had a little bit of time to go for the top play. But yeah, it's not gonna work. So yeah, because Boundless Maw has so many, I guess, fight starter tools. Like they have a Mbessa ult for EQR, you have Silas E, and then whatever Silas ult can take, Nico and stuff like that. They have the ability to pick whatever fights they want. So while I do think that Church of Hjalte will be able to win a fight if it goes on long enough, the fights themselves need to be short at the moment or not fight at all. I do think that they slightly win the scaling war because they have Seraphine Karma with like bruisers in the front line. I worry that we're at a point where it might not be doable anymore because Balance March is so ahead that they should be able to just control the map and take whatever fights, whatever, structures they want.
That is true. I mean, and with Mbessa, also the grasp of the Undying in the beginning was like, all right, this is kind of like questionable. The health is actually helping sustain and keep up with the fights through Irelia as well. So it's not bad, in my opinion, at this moment in time. And as the game continues to go forward, just get healthier and healthier. So that is a good thing for Mbessa. And the Eclipse, adding on top of the shields and all the dashes that she already has, like, they're in a really good position right now. do you think that they could possibly lose this? Like, what do they need to do in order to throw? Just overstep, get too aggressive, get too cocky? Because they seem to be pretty well control over like the pace in which this game is going at the moment.
So the only way that I think they lose, I feel, is if they either mechanically misplay fights, or if they basically just have to, they don't kill somebody at the start of the fight enough for Seraphine Karma to like heal shield and then play the sustain war after. Maybe find a numbers advantage fight. Now, that's pretty reactive, and if you draft a comp like this, I feel like it's very difficult to execute. It's way easier to draft a team with 5 engage tools than 5 disengage tools. So I think that their engage tools right now are basically just Xin Zhao, like E onto somebody, and then RA Charm, and that's pretty much it. And then maybe Seraphine. But as I said, they don't have. I feel like if you're Church of Hjalte, who are you engaging on? Like, how do you even engage on anybody? Like, Mbetsa's gonna never be in the fight, or he's gonna be far away. Mbetsa's fine here. Yeah. J4 can just EQ out. Silas is not burstable. Ezreal is Ezreal. Nico's the support. Like, who do you gonna? And also, Nico doesn't have a shutdown, so even if Killer doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know. It would be interesting if they do win a fight. I want to see what they do to win the fight. But from where it stands, they just have to farm and scale, give up objectives, and try to win like a 5v5 in their base with like their healing shielding. But maybe it's too late by then. So.
Uh-oh, and here we go. A nice little just peekaboo action from Liver there, just showing like, hey, I have the potential to start these fights at any time that I want to. I'm choosing not to right now. So, just be careful and don't walk over the 50% line. It seems like here.
They have so much threat. Like, they have the mid turret down, they have the bot turret down, so they could just walk up, take so much space, and look for any play. Maybe even just make Monkey Panic Flash if they find that angle too. So yeah, they just control the map. Like, at this point, it's just like, you could just take the Baron at this point if they really wanted to. Like, what is Church gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they could walk up. I mean, I guess I wouldn't want a coin flip personally. With Joe, just in case, because even if he dies, if he gets the Baron on over to the team, that just sucks for us. And oh no, Irelia, you should have just given up that tower. Unfortunately, this is a 3v1, and you are not winning this. I don't care how strong you are. So I think this might be that Baron look that we were just talking about. They got the Irelia. They could just look for it if they technically wanted to. And going back to what you were saying, who do they pick off? What do they, even if it's all 5 members, they're going to use all their ultis to lock down one person?
I mean, also, like, their ultis are, like, almost like
counterintuitive.
The CC tools that Church of Hjalte has, they're all, besides like Xin E, which is like a super committal ability because you're like in the middle of the fight. Right. Besides that, it's all conditional CC. You have like Seraphine E, Seraphine R, you have Aurelia E and R, you have like Ari E, like it's all skill shots into like 5 champions that are going to be able to dash away. So the burden of execution is so high on the side of Hjalte. The way they played the macro sequence before was really good. They were able to kill the Aurelia, get the top T1. Now they're grouping up mid for a dragon fight. Could be a whole 5v5.
Absolutely, and Silas is not part of this fight though here on the side of Boundless Mall, so it's a 5v4 at the moment, and yep, they're going to go ahead and pull the trigger here. Xin Zhao starts the fight. Onto the backline goes the Cataclysm and J4. Nice flash from the Seraphine to get a perfect 3-man encore as well. Onto the backline, we're going to continue though. Oh my god, everyone's falling down. 2 members down here for Church, 1 down for Boundless Mall. Silas is going in, trying to get the Seraphine. He is overly committed, hits a nice 2-man encore. Can they follow it up? Yes, they can. The rest of Boundless Mall is finally here. There goes the 4 members. Seraphine with a sliver of life and hope left. Doesn't matter as the ace finally comes through from Shu LaGlace and a 1-for-5 overall. It just, yeah, this might be a little bit of an over game, I think, for game 1. Let's get ready for game 2, just mentally, I would say, and, change up the draft a little bit here.
Yeah, so just to break down the fight just a little bit, we actually saw Church of Hjalte had like a pretty not bad looking fight. They were able to survive a lot of the engage. They were able to pick off like a couple people at the start of the fight. That's kind of what they want. They just want to sustain through the initial burst and then play retake with the amount of sustain that Seraphine and Karma can provide. The problem is that when Silas comes in, now it's a numbers even fight, kind of, but they're so head and gold on the side of Boundless Maw, and Church of Hjalte has burned so many resources just to get those couple extra kills that if they were able to just leave on the side of Hjalte, then they would have been able to get something out of that. But obviously, again, like with all the amount of dashes and engage tools and fight tools they have, it's just really difficult to do that. So, I kind of want to see more of those types of fights where it's like they survive the initial burst and then maybe they have a chance of winning after. But that's what the best look for though.
It was a really good look. They had the numbers advantage, the 5v4, so I think that they might be tuning in and listening to what you're saying. Like, hey, don't fight unless you got numbers. And they made a good potential look for it, but like you said, that gap right now between these two, a 9K gold lead, they got 14 kills over it. Most of that gold is going to be, where's that, in the jungle it looks like, and definitely in the ADC role. 13,000 there on Ezreal, 5-0-4. He has how many items? 3 completed items already, and we're just now getting to 2.5 here for Seraphine. The damages just aren't there for the fights. Even if they do survive the initial burst, it's like, how do we even follow up from here, But that's okay. There's still, like you said, they could accidentally mechanically do something wrong. Like, there's plenty of throws. We've seen worse throws, actually, in a split not that long ago in the grand finals, game number 5. Crazy turnaround. But, I just think right now, Maw has a really good grasp of what they want to do as a team. Like you said, they could start the fights at any point in time, and they are choosing, it seems like 80% of the time, the right fights. And hold on one second here. Seraphine getting caught out single-handedly there by Nico. The Pop Blossom does come through, just for good measure. Why not? We'll add a Cataclysm and a Ezreal ulti there. And that's one dead Seraphine.
Yeah, that's not a good fight. Like, their team was not grouped up. There really wasn't even on map yet. I think he won Aurelia to get something done inside, but that's unfortunate. So that is... I don't think that's the look that they want. And I think that they're still opting... I think that Church of Hjalte is still playing as if they're ahead. Like, they're still looking for the types of plays that would work if they're ahead, but those types of plays don't work. I think you need to stem the bleeding and maybe like play cross maps and stuff like that. Or maybe they think that this game is so doomed that they kind of have to go for these types of fights. I'm not sure what their thought process. It's just, again, like, it's just really difficult. Like, I would be, if I'm Hjalte's team, I'm honestly just talking about this game and being like, what do we want to pick next game? Like, what do we want? Like, what side and what fans? Because coming back from this is going to be really hard.
Yeah. It's definitely a climb up Mount Everest if they want to win this one. And Zen trying to force the play onto the bot lane here, onto the Mbessa. J4 is just showing up, hovering, shadowing his bot lane there. And yeah, that's a lot of damage, Zen. You're not going to be able to out-sustain. But wait, the rest of the team, Church, is here, though. Down goes J4, and down goes Mbessa. That's actually pretty good. But the rest of Maw has... shown up, though. Double kill being picked up by Irelia. So, yeah, definitely an overcommitment there. You lost 2 of your members. You do not have the numbers advantage at this point any longer, and you should have backed off. That's all 4 Barons gone. Only 1 member remains here, and a potential reverse ace in a very unexpected fashion. A tier 2 bot lane tower is getting taken off the map as well, and this could be the potential start look back. They had a 9K gold lead. They just cut that down to about a 5 or 6K gold lead now. And that's a really good look, I'd say, for Church.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat my words there. I did not expect them to be able to find that angle. I think the reason why it worked is because Sylas and Ezreal weren't there at the start of the fight, and then again the same thing, right? They're able to hold off the initial burst. Xin Zhao was able to somehow stay alive through that. Aurelia was able to get like a couple kills on the back end, and then by the time the Sylas and Ezreal already entered the fight, it's already pretty much over. So I guess if they're able to replicate this fight a couple more times, they'll be able to come back. It's still a pretty large lead that Mountain they have to fight back. It's like a 5K gold lead or something, even more. So like they're still playing from a back foot, but there is a world where they could win this game. I want to see this. I want to see the comeback.
And that was also a great ulti by Monkey as well. I mean, again, it was like a 5v2 for a little bit. And Xin Zhao, he is deceptively tanky. I don't know what exactly the parameters of his ult is. All I know is when that thing is on, he takes 0 damage for about half an hour. So as long as you see that bright circle on him, just leave him alone. And after it's gone, then we can go ahead and burst him down. So yeah, I think Joe was pivotal, the reason why that they won that fight, because they just weren't able to get through him, and they wasted all of their cooldowns on him. And oh no, Irelia has to be careful. Yep, catching the and Bessa misses the ultimate as well, so that's actually a good look. Oh wow, what a sidestep. I mean, barely missing pixels on that Mbessa ulti there, so gets to live to see another at least 45 seconds.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate on the side of Church of Hjalte. It's like Aurelia was able to like hold off 2 members, but because they don't have solid engage tools, it's kind of hard. Like Ari, I think just has to commit to that 4v3 and then take the fight, because now it's straight up 5v5. Aurelia has kind of a flank, but like doesn't have ult, doesn't have flash. I think she might be a little caught out here if they decide to go for her.
Yeah, she is. Oh yeah, and they are running straight at her. Avengers assemble, and now it's the opposite situation of the same fight that we saw last time, but this time in favor of Boundless Maw. The Encore does miss almost everybody. The Pop Blossom goes through, hits 3 people inside the Cataclysm. What a look from Boundless here. Church, though, out-sustaining, outliving Zinzao, and Irelia are absolutely going to work here. Down goes Silas. That's 2 members down now for Boundless. Just when I thought that they had the fight, they turned it right back around. Insane look from Church. They are clawing their way right back into it, and they are not done just yet. I don't think they should overcommit to chasing, though. Definitely go ahead and focus the objective. Don't want to give that soul on over to Boundless. That is an Ocean Soul. That's heal, that's sustain, that's mana, and that is much needed right now. They are turning this thing around, and Irelia able to stop the back from the Ezreal. That is a great timer for Church. Unfortunate for Boundless, and wow, they're doing it, man. They're doing it. 2K goalie now, only between these 2 teams. What a turnaround, dude.
Yeah, dude, I feel like it's exactly what I was saying. Was like, if they somehow don't lose at the start of the fight and they're able to hold off the initial engage, then Church of Hell's team is actually just way stronger because they scale way more. They have a lot of bruisers with a lot of sustain and healing and shields. So they're doing a really good job of playing the fights the way they need to play the fights. I think the other thing was that the engage from the...
Irelia, yep, you've missed a couple of those Mbessa ultis, but one of them's bound to land, and the one that does is the one that you will see that gray screen for 60 seconds. Damn.
Kind of an inconsequential death, honestly. It's like, I think maybe just push a little bit far, get an extra couple waves. They're not going to get any neutrals off of it on the side of Boundless Maw. So I think the Baron's still playable. The upcoming neutral is going to be still playable for both sides. Yeah, but I think it's the other thing about that previous fight was the Nico didn't have a Nico had a pretty good ult. The Jaber had a pretty good ult, but the follow-up damage wasn't there. I think Mbessa and Silas weren't quite there when the engage happened, so their engage was a little bit desynced, and when they don't have that much amount of follow-up damage for their engage, that is, I think, a really good look. So maybe another way that Church of Hell can actually force the winning fight, even not having too many engage tools, is to actually have Xin and Aurelia like push Silas and Aurelia back out of the fight. So if they split up the engage and the damage, then both sides are gonna technically be losing. But then Karma and Seraphine is able to affect both sides of the map together with like their ultimate. So maybe if they're able to split the fight, it'll be even better for them. These fights are so like playable from both sides. I think at this point I give it to Church of Hell, but I do think that Boundless Maw finds that one person, and they have enough damage in CC to lock them down. So it is just going to come down to fight execution at this point.
Yes, it is, because they are clawing.
Oh, it's a great place to be.
What happened?
It's a great place to be. It's like both. This is such a competitive game.
Oh my god, yes it is. But I mean, they're also getting caught out in their own jungle, and Karma, that is not the time to get caught out when Baron is just up at 33 minutes. I mean, it was a questionable backing from Silas there earlier, because I was going to say the same thing. He almost got caught out by Xin there. And the Hull Breaker also on Irelia, so she's been a part of these team fights. I don't know how well she's been using that, but hold on one second. 1v3 right now. We do have the other members from Church waiting, but this is a complete team for Boundless Maw. This is not the numbers that they want to be fighting, but they're getting a lot of damage off onto that Mbessa, who is now practiced. This is now essentially a 4v4 situation. Irelia has to back off as well. Gonna reset real quickly here. Neither team really looking forward to start the Baron, though.
Yeah, so I think they were pinging that J-Corp didn't have Smite for that whole sequence, so they were looking for something. I think they should have just went for a top T2 if you're not going to go. I think not doing the Baron is fine, but just looking for extra fight is probably unnecessary. And we see Mbessa has like basically full damage and full armor. We do see the Serpents coming out third, but that's why like damage from Seraphine and Mbessa or Ari is going to really stick. So if Mbessa goes for a dive and doesn't one-shot somebody, it's kind of doomed. So yeah, things like that. It's like if Karma gets caught out, it's gonna be really tough to kind of play the fights, but unless they get caught out like that, unless like Mbessa just walks up. So yeah, maybe this next fight on Baron could be like a deciding game at this point with the death timers. If they want to hold off the Baron and play for the soul as well, they can do that.
Yeah, This is 22-12. You don't expect it to be this close of a game, and it's only a 3K goal lead. And looking at it, it's like this was once like over a 10K goal lead in favor of Boundless Maw. How Church has been able to just keep the mental and power through this and make their way back. Irelia, huge shout out to Marshall. I gotta say. 5 and 6 going from 1 and 6. Genuinely. Like that is a turnaround right there. And I don't really know who's like the MVP. It's kind of a mixture between Zin and Irelia, in my opinion. Like they're just doing work right now. But right now, all of Church, in my opinion, just gets the whole MVP trophy. 20% to each of them. they're doing crazy.
Yeah. Like their comp scales so well. It's not like Boundless Maw's comp doesn't scale, but I do think they are pretty, I guess, mid-game centric. But like the heals and shields that come out from, and then the Aurelia damage that comes out from the side of Hjalte, like it is actually so game winning. This is why you kind of just like hold off, and then if you guys have a lot of healing and shielding, you have scaling. Then it's like you find a couple picks here and there, like the other team overextends and tries to get numbers disadvantage fights, and you guys just get a couple shutdowns, and the game is like super even. Like we're down like 3K, down 10 kills, but like now I'm kind of siding with Hjalte if they could play this next fight really well.
If only, if only. Let's see what they are able to do. This dragon is Ocean Soul for the side of Boundless Maw. It is a 5v5. Everyone is here. Great encore. Going to land on 3 people. But a nice pop blossom from the Nico ulti onto the backline. Gets all 3 of the damage dealers here. But hold on 1 second. Cataclysm onto the backline as well. Oh my god, Irelia is just going crazy with it right now. Trying to do what she can to keep her team in this fight. She does take 1 before her death. So it is a 1v2 situation. Ezreal trying to do what he can to Kite as well. A double kill picked up by Monkey. And a triple kill, actually. An ace wipe from the side of Church. And I don't know if they can actually end with this. They do have waves pushing in the bot side.
They can end.
Oh my god, yeah. 40-second death timers. 20 seconds is on the Nico. You're right. They do have the ability to end. What a freaking turnaround. I'll be honest. I did not see that Irelia go as hard in the paint as she did before perishing there. But getting 2 members down, and then the rest of the team's able to go ahead and pick up. Great job from the side of Church there. Dear God.
I feel like my analysis is actually kind of accurate, where like if they don't die initially, then Aurelia plus all the sustain is going to do so much work in these fights that they're just going to be able to win on the back end. Seraphine had a really good ult. I mean, like J4 and Nico had fantastic ults in that fight. It just wasn't enough because they don't have Ezreal. Bessa and Silas is just not enough damage to get through the healing and shielding of, Conquer, Aurelia, I think Conquer's and Zhao, like Seraphine, Karma healing and shielding. Oh, that was a great game. Really well played to Church really well played to Church to hold on and find those angles to turn around that fight.
Dude,
really well played.
Hjalte is just like, I knew my coaching would pay off. These guys did what I told them to. Like, they've dedicated this win to Hjalte 100%. What an animal of a game. Just being able to turn around. What was it at one point? Like 21-4, I think was the score. And how did they end it? 23-18. Like, just again, the comeback from the Irelia, I think it to me is like the most impressive. 1 and 6 and ending it 6 and 7, I believe. Ironic numbers, I know, but still. And then, of course, Seraphine at the very end, huge encore ultis just to go ahead and lock everybody down to allow Xin Zhao and Irelia to perform at the level that they were performing at. Just overall, the cohesiveness that was Church of Hjalte to be able to pull out that win is insane. If this is the caliber of gameplay that we get in Elder at this point, you guys have quite a high bar to set up for. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think just a couple, I guess, like minor critiques I would give is that some of the plays that were made from both teams were either like numbers disadvantaged or like they were over tempo plays, and I think it's these types of very small mistakes that an Elder Division is able to kind of abuse, where it's like, oh, this guy's over tempoed for like a wave or two. That's our way back into the game, right? There was that one time where Aurelia TP bot. There was that one time, like the whole fight that where Xin Zhao lived, and the first time they were able to come back. That all happened just because a couple people were like stayed on map a little bit too long. They were pushed up a little bit too far, and then they find these angles. And then it just comes down to like scaling and teamfight execution. If you're able to hit your ultimates, like, yeah, it's overall just like, this is fantastic. I had such a good job. I had such a good time watching this game, and we still have, I think it's best of 3, right? So
yes,
is one. Okay, so it's not a best of 5. Damn. At least we get
Oh
one
yeah,
more.
my bad. Wrong graphic for that. You're right.
No, you're good. But yeah, no, I'm at least we get at least one more. I want to see Boundless Mom win this next one, and then game 3 is gonna be phenomenal.
Dude, if we get a game 3 tonight, I think it will be phenomenal. But we are going to cut it to a short little intermission, though, while we get ready for the second game and the draft here. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know my boy Chaos here is looking forward to it. So we're just going to cut it to a short little intermission while we get ready for everything here. But do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It's your boy Ryline here with Chaos in this crazy banger series that we have already started between Church of Hjalte versus Boundless Ma. What a back and forth. I mean, Boundless, they showed up, they were ready to go, they had the executions, they had the comps, they had everything. And then Church said, hold on, we gotta channel our inner Hjalte and win this game, and they so did. And I mean, looking at that last one here, I mean, what could Boundless Maw really have done differently? Like, what do you think was the changing point in the direction that led to that loss, unfortunately?
This typically happens when teams are ahead, is that they start, I guess, being overconfident and not syncing up their timers. Like, I think the biggest issue that Balance Mall had is that it was their team, game to win. It was 20-5 at one point.
Yeah.
The reason why they lost some of the fights was because there were some players that were not in sync with the rest of their team about when a fight should happen and where a fight should happen. So like some people would be reset, some people would be pushing a wave, some people would be getting vision when a fight is happening. So I think if they were able to sync up their engages a little bit quicker, have all the damage stacked up on all the CC all at once, then yeah, you get one or two people off the map before the rest of Church of Hjalte is able to meet up, and then I think that's how they would win. So just a bit of a misexecution. I think if Balance Ma are able to recognize that, or if they're tuning into the stream, then this game, if they play exactly the same way, then they should pretty much clean 2-0. But I guess we'll see. It's gonna be a different draft. It's gonna be a whole different game.
Yes, it will. Well, hopefully not too much different, because I want to see some banger gameplay. You know what I mean? I want to see some action. I hope it's not like a 13-minute first blood. We've seen a couple of those sometimes as well. Not exactly my favorites, but hey, you do what you need to do, right? Typical bans, I think we had the same bans last time. Boundless Maw has the Aurelion Sol, the Zillion, and the Kate. Church, if Hjalte went with the Yunara this time, I don't think we saw the Yunara ban last time. Actually, no, we did. It was the Yunara, Kiana, and the Camille. Same exact three from both sides here. So now that we've gotten the Seraphine Karma out of the way, right? Do you expect Monkey and the rest of Church to continue this APC trend, or do we finally get to see an actual ADC from him? Or for the first time in like 10 games, it feels like.
Yeah, okay, so I had a couple things to break down there. So the first is yes, all the bans are the same. The second thing is Church of Health now took, or sorry, Church of Health won, so Boundless Maw had, I would say that they probably had draft selection. I don't think people are going to choose to be on blue side or red side. So Boundless Maw chose to be second pick in this draft. So Church of Health did the same bans, and now they're looking to be one the Maokai, which I have to imagine is going to go to Mommy Maokai in the jungle. Could be a flex, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, Wukong is I guess just pretty normal staple pick. Now for the APC section, I will say I have less respect for Monkey, but he did play the Seraphine pretty well
He did.
for the most part. So I guess mages won, but it is what it is. Again, I hope there's no more mages. Thank God we see another traditional ADC. Zeri for the side of Shu. Again, fantastic champ. I've been playing a lot more of that champ as well lately. I'm having a lot of fun. So yeah, I guess we'll see. What do they want to respond with this? Do you want another mage, or do you want a scaling ADC or something? We'll see.
I hope to God that we do not get another scaling mage ADC. I do not want to see like a Mel or something like
I'm with
that.
you, brother.
It's like, please don't. I'd rather just,
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, the Twitch. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot. Personally, how do you feel about that?
I think this is Monkey's one of Monkey's best champions. I, as an ADC, have my own reservations about this champion. I think I personally hate playing against Twitch because I'll never be able to hit the mid waves. One thing that I am not a huge fan of is I think Twitch is really good into mobile ADCs, because if the a mobile ADC walks up to the wave, then you can just kill them without them moving. But like Zeri has a lot of tools to be able to get away. Like obviously Arc is a movement speed, obviously the E. So I think Twitch is like just matching scaling. There might have been better picks, but I know this is one of Monkey's best champions, so makes sense. He wants to play comfort on potentially a game, series losing game. I'm John. Okay. We'll talk about that for a second. Janna, I think Janna is good into Wukong. I don't like the idea of Janna blind. I don't like the idea of supports blind. I also don't think Twitch is a champion that you typically can just like leave alone in weak side. So what if you are picking Janna to roam? It feels like you might be leaving Twitch on an island, and Twitch doesn't want that. His laning phase is actually quite weak. So maybe I would have preferred like a different pick here, and leave the support for a little bit later. Yuumi, I you know what? I fucking hate that champ. The only time I like Yuumi is if I'm playing Tristana. I think Zeri Yuumi obviously is a very strong lane. My worry with Yuumi is potentially you lack a lot of vision, because typically Yuumi's in solo queue. They don't really hop off and they get vision. So maybe they could play like a vision. Maybe they can win through Church of Rock can win through the vision war when you have like a roaming support versus a support that literally will never even right click out of anything else. So I guess we'll see. Mordekaiser ban coming out, that's fine. That champion is broken. Orianna ban coming out makes sense. Victor ban coming out also makes sense. So far the rest of the draft makes sense. We'll see how the mids and tops play out then.
Yeah, and I don't really think that we're going to see the Janna roaming a whole lot. I don't think that Twitch, because we just didn't see it last game. You know what I mean? We did not see either support really roaming around the map. Yuumi, like you had just mentioned, is not going to do any roaming whatsoever. So that's going to leave Twitch in a 2v1. And I don't know if Twitch is on par with like a Sivir or an Ezreal who's able to just stay in lane, farm, and do what you need to do. You know what I mean? He kind of needs that. I don't want to say he's reliant on a duo, but he definitely works a lot better, in my opinion, as someone who's there with him in lane. So I think Janna's going to stick in lane with him. I think they're going to try to assassinate, just run down Zeri. But yeah, that Yuumi, I'm also not a big fan of Yuumi's either. I don't like playing with them. When I verse them, it's like they're just god level. It's crazy. And you had mentioned that Victor ban also in game number one, or thinking like, hey, you guys should pick the Victor, so taking him out in game number one. I think they might be saving him for a game number three personally. Keeping him for the last if we get to a game three because he's just that good. Ari is always like a traditional game one pick, and ooh, the Mel looks like coming through for Boundless Maw. I I'm liking the comp a little bit more here for Boundless outside of the Yumi. Church to me, they have the potential pick. Like you said, Monkey is very comfortable with Twitch. If Maokai's able to just go ahead, get an ulti out from the jungle, Twitch follows up, that's instant death from there, right? After he's able to, ulti and assassin Twitch, essentially. Hui being able to poke, I just feel like their team is a little bit too squishy on the side of Church at the moment. Just me personally. I think Boundless has a lot of damage, a lot of burst, and they're able just to get right through this lineup of champions so far.
So what I'll say is, as much as I don't like Yumi, I think Yumi's really good in this draft. I think Zeri Yumi is very strong. The range and poke and stain is gonna just beat the crap out of Janna in lane. The question is how much can Janna do outside of lane? And in game one, we saw both supports not doing anything. Right. So if that happens again here, it's gonna be really bad. On the same side, Twitch doesn't want to be alone. Like Twitch is like Twitch likes like is like Aphelios, like Sivir, like Jinx. Like they kind of want some kind of support to get them through the laning phase. So Church of Aeon's draft is a little bit I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like the Mel here. I don't think you get a lot of value, and I think Mel can just get completely bodied by Twitch and Maokai, especially in side lane if they're made, they can be picked off. So I don't really like the Mel here. Hui I think is a fine answer. Renekton block. Oh, wait, I think that was a.
It was an Aatrox, but no. It was meant to be a Renekton. They changed it, so that is a Renekton pick. Absolutely.
Okay, so Renekton blind is fine. Cassante R5 is fine. Saving Cassante as an answer, I don't think is very good. I think if you wanted Cassante, I think is a fine blind as well. Or you just pick Cassante or Renekton on 4 and then save like mid for counterpick. I don't like Mel in this draft. I think Mel's okay. I think Mel can reflect a Maokai, and that's pretty much it at the time that you drafted it. At least I think Boundless Maw's comp makes sense of what they want to do. Zeri is going to be like a giga scaling. I think Zeri does really well into Maokai and Renekton as well. I think Zeri is just super nuclear in this game. And then Mel, Wukong, Cassante are just going to try to buy space. On the side of Church, I think what they want is it's kind of weird. Like I guess Maokai can engage or disengage. I think Maokai is going to try to disengage in this draft, and then I think Twitch and Hui are going to be able to outrange and outdamage. My worry is that if Maokai is disengaging, you're not going to have a lot of reliable CC. Like Maokai is your pretty much the only person in your core forward that's going to be able to like go in. And then if you're going to go in onto the Hui or onto the Zeri, Zeri's going to E away, and then Wukong is going to be able to like stop your backline. It's a little bit wonky. I guess we'll see how the draft or how the game plays out. I would say I would give this draft to Boundless Maw slightly. I don't think it's a 51-49. I think I like Boundless Maw's draft just generally more, like maybe 60-40. Again, Church of Hjalte has good tools, and I think it'll come down to how well they play around the tools.
Absolutely fair. And I like Boundless Maw's draft a little bit more overall. You pointed out some pretty fair observations as well. It's just like, okay, like how does Church exactly engage again? But we kind of saw that last time. We asked that same question from before, and then they just ended up just being able to pull it out. It was like, all right, I guess that's how they decide to do that. But so, Renekton into the Cassante, I'll be honest, Cassante is just one of those champions where it's just like, I don't know what to do with him at any point in time. He goes tanky, and then he turns all those stats into damage, and then he just brings you over the wall. He just absolutely annihilates you. And the most important person in their team fight is probably going to be the Renekton, in my opinion. So right as if Cassante can get Renekton out of these fights, then that means Mel, Zeri, Yumi, and Wukong just have to deal with the other three. And again, they have no front line whatsoever. And I think they're just going to be able to burst them down. And that's going to be every single team fight, in my opinion. So I'm going with Boundless Maw in an overwhelming capacity to win this one. And I'm hoping for a game 3 personally.
Yeah, I will say I like Shu being on hyperscalers. I think Shu's a really good ADC, and I think putting him on a champion like Ezreal, while he is able to perform, I don't think the champion itself is going to be able to rival the matches of things like Jinx and Zeri. I think Zeri is also probably a better blind, so I think if they B1 Zeri last game instead of Ezreal, it might have been a little bit better. Also, again, something you mentioned, like something to note, is that Boundless doesn't have as many engage tools as they did last game. They opted for a bit more scaling.
Right.
But Church of Hjalte, it looks like on paper it functions similarly to their previous draft. Church of Hjalte's both compositions, they didn't have a lot of engage tools, but they had a lot of peel tools. So because Balance Maul wasn't able to kill somebody at the start using their, I guess, front-loaded damage comp, Church of Hjalte was able to win with their, playback and like peel and like heal and shield comp. And this is similar. They're looking for Maokai and Janna to play kind of disruption. Maybe. I mean, Maokai can engage, but then on the side of Balance Mod, this is a little bit different. They don't have as many engage tools again. They have maybe like Wukong Gold, and then maybe Kasante, Mel Eads, it's all flaky. But they have a lot more scaling and a lot more damage. So Balance definitely just chose a different comp, which is just less engage and more scaling. So maybe I think that the early game is a little bit slower this game, and then maybe the team fights are a little bit more even, and then it'll come down to both teams at every stage of the game I feel like are scaling fairly evenly. So it'll come down to just fight execution. What fight angles can you find? I mean, also Zeri and Yumi is gonna get at some point they're gonna get cleanser Mikhails, which means basically the only reliable CC that Church of Hjalte has, which is Maokai W and Renekton W.
Right.
It's gonna be irrelevant. So it's like I think Zeri is gonna be able to do a lot more into Church of Hjalte comp than Twitch is gonna be able to balance one comp. But who knows? I mean, it's Monkey's Twitch. It's a variable, right? Like it's the X factor. I want to see the Twitch is gonna be big this game to see what the Twitch can do.
Yes, sir. It's going to be very reliant. Just protect the Twitch comp at this point. Allow Hui to poke down, and then just try to do what we can from there. Boundless, like we said, just I think have a little bit more tools to work with, but it's all about execution at the end of the day. So we are going to go ahead, and the prediction is live for all of you folks at home. Spend those channel points. I already gave out the points for the last one as well. I also want to give a couple shout outs real quick here. Raging Raider for the follow at the beginning of the stream. Thank you so very much. Tiger with the lovely bits and the lovely message. Thank you so very much. Cup of Joe NA. Thank you very much for the follow, of course. Marshall, thank you for the follow. And then we have Raging Raider with 5 community gifted subs. Huge shout out to you. Thank you so very much, Raging. You guys were complaining about those ads earlier. Hopefully you were one of the 5 selected winners, and you don't have to worry about that for at least another month. So thank you guys for all that support. That's the reason why we're here. It's because of you all. And we look forward to bringing you a fantastic game number 2 between Church of Hjalte and Boundless Maw. But we're going to cut it to a short little break while we get ready for that. Do not go anywhere. Chaos and your boy Rylion will be right back.
Bye.
Alrighty, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It's your boy Rylion here with Chaos. This is game number 2 between Church of Hjalte and Boundless Maw. They traded sides this time, and we have a little bit of Interesting action, looks like right at the beginning. But before we start and get into all the depth, let's go ahead and break down the characters and their players real quick, starting on blue for us for Church. Breakdown for top for us in top side there, my good friend Chaos.
Oh yeah, so on side of blues, on blue side, on side of Church of Hell, we have martial arts on the Renekton. We have Joe Mama or Mommy Maokai on the Maokai. Loki on the Hui. We have in the bot lane Twitch. We have Monkey on Twitch, and then we have Logistics Maximum on Janna.
Yes, sir. And Boundless Maw, they were itching for that win. I know that they're kind of kicking themselves, and that VOD review is going to be interesting later on for them. In game number 1, we have Ragoon in the top side here with Cassante Liver on the Wukong jungle, Dat Perps with the Mel mid, Shula Gloss on the Zeri ADC, and Bob Killer 521 on the Yuumi support. And no Ignite this time. I just want you to know that for either support.
Yeah, good. I think Ignite's just not good. I think Exhaust. Imagine if the Nico had Exhaust with the Aurelia in that last fight. That would have been huge, right?
Oof.
Yeah, this time, no Ignites while we're going scaling runes. Critically, we do see that both junglers are pathing bot now, away from the, I would not say tank v tank matchup, but like away from the, supported utility cast. Because now we have Twitch and Zeri. Whoever gets ahead in that bot lane is gonna be insane. So we're gonna play Drakes. We're gonna do your regular, all that stuff.
And you had mentioned earlier the only thing that Mel can really deflect was the Maokai. He can deflect everything from Hui if I'm not, or she can, if I'm not mistaken, including the ultimate, right? Like, look at that. Look at that timing.
She can. It was just Mel was blind at the time, so you didn't know. Like, what if instead of picking Hui there, you pick Lissandra, and then what does Mel even do to that champion? So it's like I think Mel was not good at the time. I think like Hui is a fine answer into it. I think maybe Victor and Orianna were banned. Those are fantastic picks into play. Maybe that's what they wanted. They were just like, oh, I want to ban out the Victor so I can play the Mel, and then now they get like good matchups. So maybe that's what it is.
Look at Monkey go. You're right. He's comfortable as hell on Twitch. Look at him. He's crazy right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the state of Yuumi in lane. Is like they're not really gonna do much. I mean, Yuumi. Okay, if this Yuumi does not detach in lane, she's actually trolling. The only reason why you wouldn't detach is if you're scared of CC. There is no CC unless, except for Janna Q. And if you're getting hit by Janna Q as Yuumi, I think you're just a bad player. So like I want the Yuumi to detach and like pull pressure from Twitch and Janna a little bit, like space and like posture and stuff like that. Otherwise, Zeri is just kind of up shit's creek and just has to kind of try to survive. Not doing too bad, honestly. I mean, the CS is going to be still pretty even after this wave, so eating a lot of pressure. But that means I do think Zeri Yuumi is going to scale way better than Twitch Janna. So it's going to be a matter of like which ADC can get ahead early.
And speaking of that CS lead, look at that top side there. Renekton with a sizable CS lead over the Cassante and winning in these skirmishes as well. So already kind of an iffy start here for Ragoon on the Cassante. Do you expect, or should Wukong be kind of focusing more on the top or leaving him to like his own devices up there?
No, I'll completely leave that guy in an island. It's a Cassante, and even if Cassante is going to scale no matter what, and getting Cassante ahead isn't going to allow you to win the game. Shutting down Renekton is not going to allow you to win the game. Whatever you do for your Zeri is going to, or even the Mel, is going to be way more. So as long as like the waves are not completely boned top lane, I don't think Wukong should ever go top. I just hate it when top lane, or I just hate it when junglers like try to make plays on weak side. Like we've already established that it's not a good idea. So that's what I want to see.
Gotcha. No, that definitely makes sense. So win con, you would say, for the side of Boundless would be this Zeri play. And win con for the side of Church is also Twitch. So bot lane for both, I would say, arguably.
Yeah, and you can see like both junglers pathing to the same direction for that reason, right? Because they believe that. Oh my god, it's gonna be
no, I mean, yeah, I mean, unfortunate the slice and dice just wasn't available there, and Ragoon, perfect play. He might be down in CS, but he said in these 1v1s, I will show you who's king. So great job picking up the first blood, Ragoon in the top side.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back and see what happened. So like, Cassante ended up getting a reset and TP back, and then got the Bramble Vest. Renekton didn't reset TP back, but I think initiated a trade at half HP into a Bramble full HP Cassante, and now he's waiting like bone tooth. I think that's just maybe like an Eagle play or something. were able to turn this fight.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that fight was ridiculous. Had to burn flash at the very last second.
my
I thought
gosh.
Renekton had. I'm like, what is going on? They're just teleporting right back into lane thinking, hey, I just won the fight. Let me do it again. It's like, no, sir. He has items now. Like, you just did the same thing to him. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, oh, we have another dive happening in the top side here.
My gosh.
Trading 1-for-1 kills, maybe, maybe not. But back to the bot side, though. A 3v3 forces the flash there from Wukong. Nice Janna Tornado to go ahead and stop the Zeri. And that will be a kill picked up here from Monkey onto Shulagloss. So at least one kill on the bot and one kill on the top here for the side of Church to get up 2-1 on the board.
Yeah, good dive on the side of Renekton. Already burned like a bunch of resources at the start and is able to just, quickly get that extra kill. No resources left on the side of Cassante. And then at the same time, there was a bot play. Zeri ended up using Flash. I'm just looking back. So Maokai Flash W'd on the Zeri. Critically, like, Zeri doesn't have Cleanse. I mean, doesn't really need Cleanse.
Right.
Just needs Merxim or like Mikhail's after. So Maokai, good root, has a follow-up damage for him, and then Zeri is able to die. So one kill on the side of Switch is going to be really big to try to snowball. Wave's really good for the side of Church of Hjalte as well. So so far pretty good. Coming back into the game from I guess maybe just being down CS, but yeah. So good on the side of Church of Hjalte to get some leads.
Yeah, any little bit counts in this regards. 2K or about a 1K gold lead right now in the favor of Church. So, last game we saw them down as far as like 12K, right? So getting them ahead this early is a little bit, I expect to see great things from if they're able to get a lead and maintain it from this point forward. But that Cassante is doing work, and they have to be careful. Like you said, it's not going to be a win con, I don't think, for Cassante, but he can be a nuisance, though.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good point that you mentioned. Is Church of Hjalte was able to win game 1 from like a 10k deficit, and they were down the entire game. They made some good plays, but it was pretty bad. Now they're winning in the early game, and the opposition has the pressure to be like, oh guys, we just threw a 10k lead and now we're losing in the early game. Like, I think the mental pressure is going to I feel like it'll start weighing on them if they're not able to get some leads early. Like, okay, they're able to heal out. So yeah, I mean, this looks, honestly, just looking at the trajectory of the whole series, the series as a whole, and looking at the comps and stuff like that, I do think that Church of Hjalte does a really good shot at just closing out this game completely. I want to see that even.
Absolutely, and here we go. Wukong making a way to the bot side here. Nice tornado to go ahead and stop him, but I think the positioning from Twitch just was unfortunately a little bit too far forward, and tried to at least get 1-for-1 with the ultimate, but that barrier, like you said, and the shields coming in from Bob Killer, just unfortunately not able to pick up that kill. Maokai now finding himself on the wrong side of the jungle, my friend, in a potential collapse. We do have the Wukong, we have the Yuumi, and the Mel's making her way down as well. Dodges the root. Here comes Janna. I don't think Janna's going to really be much of a difference maker. Actually, good knockback. Hold on. Here's Hui. A little bit of a delayed reaction. The execute from Mel, not able to really hold anything down. Here comes the Nether Grasp as well from Maokai. Is going to go ahead and hold Wukong down. And they do get the kill. Moki's going to take down Liver. So a little bit of a misstep, misplay turned into a nice kill for the side of Church. And in the top side, Slice and Dice comes through. Oh my god, Marshall! I don't know how he did it, but Ragoon almost took him down. What a move, and barely holding on with that ultimate. I mean, it was like a half a second from delayed right there, or just ending. Nice engage from Marshall there. So all across the map, I think that was an overall victory for Church.
Yeah, so Ragoon made a crazy play on Imbessa under his turret against Marshall's Aurelia, and Marshall's like, hold my top lane balls, I'm just gonna go in and just like beat you in the same 1v1. So that was crazy. Now he's up 30 CS, and I think he has a pretty good wave state. So still gotta watch it. I mean, again, Renekton isn't, a crazy good scaling champ, but like if he can get into the mid game and able to transition his lead, that's gonna be really strong. But yeah, that Maokai gameplay was crazy to survive there. Huge turn. Oh my god, looks like there's a flank on the Twitch genre here.
Oh, yep, Mel's wrapping around with the Wukong. I didn't even see that myself. Great job. Another great tornado, and Twitch is like, okay, let me get invisible, try to get what I can. Nope, he's going to get caught out, and there's the tower vision as well. So, unfortunate looks. I mean, he's just finding himself on the wrong side of these lanes when these roams are coming through, and just no vision, or even though they have the vision, they're just pushed too far up. They're not able to react in time.
Goodbye, you little rat. I hate Twitch. Whenever I see Twitch's die, I'm just like, balance is restored. But yeah, I think they just need to pay attention to the map a little bit more. This is the second time, I think this is Monkey's like vice just in general, is he wants to fight too much. That is the second time he's died to a Wukong gang, where he really should be very careful about not fighting when certain things are not available. Janna didn't have ult, Wukong was off map. I mean, Mel roaming is a little bit weird for sure, but at least Wukong, you should be careful about your wave state, be ready to run away and stuff like that. But in general, it was a really good flank. They skirted the vision really well. A nice flank to punish I think a flash switch at the back, so good play.
And a proxy happening here in topside from Marshall and Renekton. Maokai was kind of hovering a little bit, just like hoping that K'Sante would take the bait. K'Sante's 3 levels down right now, comparative to Marshall. Like, that's rough. 40 CS, he's got 1 kill lead on him, so that's like about a 55 CS lead in terms of gold. Let's take a look, actually, at the gold. See where most of that lead is at, and it looks like that top lane is pretty much the biggest gap.
At least it's like a K'Sante. Like if I saw the same thing on an Mbessa, I'd be very concerned.
Right.
But K'Sante obviously is a tank and can do well on the resources. So it's not the worst, but yeah, you're right. Definitely could be a lot better. We do see that Boundless Mod took the Drake on the back end of that Twitch kill, so now they are up 1 dragon as well.
Nice.
But again, fairly slow-ish game. I think we were in roughly about the same game state as game 1.
Right.
But I think some of the plays that happened about now started to maybe explode the game. I don't know how much I expect to see something like that in this game. I mean, look at the plates across the board. I don't think anything is under. Besides top lane, nothing is under 3 plates. So maybe they're looking to blow up the top lane for the side of Stricken Hill.
Do the top laners just maintain their top lane after tier 1s fall? And we'll answer that in just a moment here. Renekton also now finding himself on the wrong side of the lane. Seems to be a trend with these Wukong ganks here. Nice job. Here comes the Cyclone, and the double proc of that Cyclone gets the kill on over Deliver. And a shutdown picked up as well. Very well played on the side of Boundless.
Yeah, Liver's been doing a really good job of making his early game presence known as like a playmaking jungler. Like his J4 has been really good, his Wukong has been really good. So just good play overall. We got the Renekton did have a shutdown. Got the shutdown. The Wukong got the shutdown too, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like the traditional jungler picks. You know what I mean? I love the J4s. I love the Wukongs. If I'm not mistaken, that's either it has 100% pick or ban rate in this play and the last one. Oh, Maokai gonna go up and show up with a gank of his own into the bot side here, and Zeri's able to just escape, flash, jump over the wall, and a respectable teleport from K'Sante just to say, hey, I am here as well in case you need me. And a lot of resources used, but nothing gained.
Yeah, maybe there's a world. I mean, I totally understand Zeri's perspective. Like, okay, just like jumped onto me, I need to flash E out. Maybe there's a world where you realize that K'Sante's TPing in. It's this fight that you can win, right? Zeri still has ult. K'Sante should be able to zone them out. But I guess they just, they played out, so K'Sante has to reset and then go back. But that means Renekton might get the top turret for that. So I guess we'll see. I mean, it looks like Maokai is still playing for a regank here.
Twitch might be caught out a little bit. Nice gank from Maokai coming in through the lane here, so definitely caught him off guard. But Wukong getting flash forward, does get the Twitch though onto the backline, and the kiting from Zeri is just unreal. The Qs and the autos just in between, dashes over the wall to safety, and that's what we were saying earlier. How do you get to the Zeri? She's able to just outrun, outkite, outpeel. Like there's nothing that they can do to get to her really. So a little bit unfortunate that they're seeing it this early, but it's okay.
Yeah, as I said, like the only CC they have in this bot lane 33 is Maokai W, and Twitch Janna don't have burst damage to capitalize off of it. So if Zeri is able to just not die initially, if there's no way that Zeri dies initially to it because of Yumi, they're just gonna win the front to back. Oh my god, Renekton's gonna get another kill.
Yep, takes care of that T1 and instantly kills the K'Sante, who ultied, to try to save himself, but it just wasn't going to be enough.
Yeah. Arsenal's just playing generally really well this series. So, yeah, this Renekton is going to be kind of insane. But I mean, if I'm Zeri here, I'm like, I don't really care about the Renekton. I just need to make sure I don't get flash W'd by both the jungler and top. And even if I do, as long as I have like a Mikhail's or like a Quicksilver Sash or something like that, I will be able to just win because my team top is better. So I'm still, especially now that Zeri's ahead of Twitch, and I think Zeri does better into the Renekton and Maokai than Twitch does into K'Sante and Wukong. So Zeri, still really happy.
Yep, and Twitch has to be careful. He was trying to get a nice little flank there, but Wukong's going to go ahead and show up. Cyclone's going to get popped as well, but he's finding himself in a 1v3. Zeri, never mind, shows up instantly, pops the ulti, takes care of Monkey, and we have play on the back line, but I don't think it's going to be enough as a teleport comes through from Mel. Janna and Maokai are going to go ahead and find their way to the gray screen for at least the next 20 seconds as that dragon appears and have a little bit of contemplating to do on what these team fights are going to look like for the rest of this game.
I'm trying to rewatch that fight. Like, Hui wasn't there at the start of that fight. Oh, I didn't even see that. I guess Melko killed Hui.
Was. He just was zoned out.
Yeah, Hui was just completely zoned out. So again, they didn't technically have numbers advantage for the fight, but I mean, Wukong was able to use that and be like, I know my Zeri is super mobile. I can take the whatever fight that I want. And then, yeah, just really good play so far by the Wukong.
And it's just one of those things like Wukong falls off over time, you know that? So it's like, you know, I had the damages early. I'm just going to full send it right now. I know we can kill them. I know we have the damage. And it's Janna. Like, come on. I have a Trinity Force. I have a Cole now. Like, they are very squishy. We could take care of them. And oh no, Mel's finding her.
Oh, misses the E.
Oh,
gosh, wait, but you're just going to get one shot by the Renekton.
Exactly. Renekton's too big, and plus that CC from Maokai.
Yeah, so Renekton's kind of big. I think Renekton has a very small window to try to like win the game. Basically, I think he has to do everything he possibly can in the next maybe 10 minutes. Because once Zeri hits like 3-4 items, there's no world where Zeri is going to be even scared of Renekton. So, oh, this is hard, but Wukong is there to protect.
Oh, Zeri ultimate gets popped. Here comes the Maokai ulti, but Twitch is just right in front of Zeri, who's just taking auto after auto, Q after Q. And they are going to be able to go ahead and run down the other two members of Church, it looks like here. Wukong is on that hunt, and down goes Janna. They thought maybe if we separate, one of us will live, and it looks like that might be the case here. Cassante trying to get something started in the top side, but Hui, nice spacing, nice poking, doing a great job of just destroying him while being halfway across the map, it feels like. That's what Hui's do.
Playing the humble weak side. Just doing what he can while his team wins the map for him. No, I like the. I also like the Zeri build. Like I think Zeri can go a lot of items. I think Storm Razor is just really good because you can steal movement speed, which allows you to just have a massive uptime. But critically, I think Fiend Hunter is really good to make sure that to get through squishes. Like if you're getting Fiend Hunter and you're gonna be hitting a tank, it's not that good.
Right.
But if you're getting Fiend Hunter and you're able to 3-crit the Twitch at the start of the fight, because the Twitch decides to walk up in front of a Zeri that can just ER triple auto, then it gets a lot of value. Yeah, Zeri's super accelerated. This is I would say this is a very easy game for Boundless Maw to win from this position. They just need to not make the same mistakes that they did before, where they're taking numbers as the advantage, right? Which I'm still seeing a little bit of a tendency where Boundless Maw, some of the players are looking to try to take some fights alone. But I think because they have good scaling and they have a lot of mobility, they're able to turn these fights.
Wukong jumps right into the pit. A Cyclone right off rip, of course, to go ahead and get some big damages off onto the Twitch, who pops the rat-a-tat-tat. They stole the Rift Herald! What an absolute animal, and I don't mean just because you are Wukong. Mel's going to go ahead and try to take down Wukong, gets a nice ultimate off, forces Twitch and Maokai to just bounce right on out of there. They have to give up all of their jungle spacing now. Wow, they started it, they couldn't end it. And we saw this last time from Boundless Maw, right? 12-6, they have a nice sizable lead. Their team fights are going really well, but Church was able to really pull it together, and there's only a 1K difference between these two teams right now, even though it is 6-12.
Yeah, Wukong was able to get onto the Twitch in the back on the back end of that fight, and then Twitch was basically just already out.
Yep. Then
Wukong just zones really well. So like you mentioned before that Wukong doesn't do a lot of damage. I think he doesn't do a lot of burst damage. You're right. He's not really like explosive when it comes to bursting people, but he does offer a ton of damage in fights. And he also what he offers in fights is not so much damage, but he's a disruptor. He's going to distract the entire enemy team and survive, and he offers a lot of CC, which is plenty of time, especially when your team is ahead, for like Mel and Zeri to just basically burn through the Renekton and Maokai. So Wukong, I just generally like Wukong as a champion, especially for an ADC. Like I think he does a lot. Not damage, but as an ADC, I don't need you to do damage. This Mel's so dead.
Oh yeah, or should be. I mean, she has. Never mind. I was gonna say she has the protoplasm, but does not matter.
Oh, no, she is dead.
Yeah.
But does Renekton?
Also dead.
Flash?
Maokai is on the way as well with an ultimate of his own to try to hold her in place, but that kiting, look at her. Look, Zeri and Yuumi. It's Zeri Yuumi specific. Double teleport though to topside. Here's the Hui, and also I believe that was the Cassante. Nice flash from Hui onto the backside here. Oh, Zeri's gonna go ahead and 3-shot him. Very good. Janna's gonna go ahead and Monsoon everybody back. Forces them into Twitch's positioning though. A double kill being picked up here from Shulaglass. Does take down Dat Perps, so Dat Perps is out for the time being. Janna now being ran down and running in the wrong direction, but she is Janna. The wind is on her side, and she will make a quick little escape. Might actually run straight into Wukong though, unknowingly. And what we thought was a quick little escape, a nice escape, turned to be actually right into her doom. She could have just based right there. Oh God, unfortunate. Executes, not going to be able to come through. Yeah, distraction, but they're not able to utilize Baron or Dragon at the moment because they're all dead.
Yeah. I was gonna say everyone's still dead for the Drake, so definitely this is gonna be Boundless Ma's Drake. I mean, just get ADC items, man. Like Zeri's on 3 items, Twitch is on 1.5. I don't know what he's building there.
IE maybe. Those are the first 2 components of an IE.
Oh, that's IE. He's so doomed, dude. He doesn't even have the BF sword. Man, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We were literally in this position last game.
Literally.
And I'm like, this is unlosable. So I want to say that anything can happen, but there is a very powerful difference in that their comp last game was really suited to just surviving the initial gauge. They don't have that win con. The way that fights, I have no words. The way that fights play out just does not seem like Church will be able to win. But, so it's possible.
The champion pool is there. Like before, it was a Seraphine, Nico, right? Seraphine has at least some sustain. Those encore ultis were a huge difference maker. Twitch isn't in that same category. The rat-a-tat-tat or the spray and pray or whatever you want to call it now is not going to be nearly as impactful as that previous ulti. So, it was a very similar story, very similar situation, but very, very different, circumstances here. So, again, it's not that it's 100% winnable. Any game, I guess, is technically losable at any point in time. As we saw last game, it was 20-5, and they didn't end up pulling out the dub there. So, but they're playing much more methodically. I think they learned from their previous game, of course. And, they're taking their wins. They're not overextending. They're not sticking around too long. They're taking their wins. They're backing off, getting their item advantages, and then joining back into the fights again. So I do like to see the little adaptations that they've made from last game to this game here. So they can keep on doing this throughout the entirety of this tournament. I could see them going as like a top 3 seeded team into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think both teams are doing very well, and they have a lot of potential. It will just come down to refining some of the smaller things.
Ooh, yep, and Mel coming into the smaller things, just like this, forcing the nice flash there, dodging, and now they just have to back right on off. A lot of resources again used and nothing gained, and that allowed the timing for the rest of Boundless to show up. There's that disengage ulti like you were mentioning earlier. I don't think that's really going to do much to help him, but it will help his teammate as they do take down the Maokai. They will go ahead and push down the mid lane, though. Church is like, hey, if we're going to have one thing happening on the bot side, we'll make things happen in the mid lane here. Rift is going to get popped inside the bot lane as well. Doesn't quite get that tier 2, but they are going to follow it up here very shortly. So trading at least objective for objective on the map is something at this point.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, the execution on... I think I like the attempt to go for the milk hit. I mean, I don't think she had a shutdown, so I don't know how much it would have been useful. But... oh, God.
Oh, God, indeed.
Fighting.
Zell is showing up, and that's so much worse. Nice turnaround. I mean, Zeri, I know you're big, but you're definitely not that big, my friend. But they're not able to burst her down quite yet. She does have the heal and the exhaust used from Yuumi to keep her alive on that one, but Sheila Glass playing with fire on that one.
Yeah, just, I gotta be careful of stuff like that because that is a massive shutdown, massive turnaround. That's exactly how you lost game one. So I don't want to see any more of that. Like, you also didn't have ult at the time, and I think you also didn't have McGill's. Like, Azeri had, Yumi had literally everything, so it was okay.
Right.
Just gotta be careful. But anyways, yeah, going back to that bot play, like, I kind of like the Mel look. I mean, that's probably only the types of looks you're gonna get, but I mean, I think that the gank execution was a little bit missed. So, like, Hui missed the E because the Maokai queued, and then Hui missed the R because the Mel flash. So, just in general, if it was a little bit better. That's actually what I wanted to see out of the side of Church of Hjalte for the whole game. If Twitch is able to get out of laning phase early, his mid game is obscene. I think it's one of the best mid games of any ADC because you have so much threat on mid waves. You should be the one making those picks onto Mel as a Twitch. Like, just find Mel in the side lane and then kill her and then go back to mid wave. And then you're not going to lose mid probably because nobody knows where you are. But when Twitch is behind the laning phase, the champion just does not function as an actual ADC. He's just a cheese pick. So at this point, if Church of Hjalte is going to win, it is going to be the same plan that they had in game one, where you don't do anything and you try to just survive, and you try to win on the back end of a fight. But do they have enough damage, and do they have enough, like, heals and shielding, healing and shielding like Seraphine Karma? No. So it'll be harder this time around for sure.
Absolutely. And Janna finding herself on the wrong side of this fight, currently split off from the rest of Boundless Maw here. So has to get ready. This dragon will be up in 20 seconds. It is a potential soul here for Boundless.
A
so
full team fight.
They don't want to give this up. Using the blasting cone, they're going to go ahead and start the fight here. It looks like on to Hui. Here comes the Zeri's going to pop up with the Yumi as well. 5 members from Boundless, or I'm sorry, 5 members from Church on the bottom side here. They're going to start the dragon on the side of Boundless. Very nice. The Maokai ultimate is going to go ahead and start the engage. Here comes the Zeri ultimate as well onto the back line. That's a lot of damage though from the Hui, and Renekton's going to go in onto the back as well. Shula Glass is going to take down Maokai instantly. Ragoon takes down the Twitch. It's going to be 3 for 2 right now, and they are not done just yet. That Zeri, a triple kill, just being able to do quadra, my apologies, being able to do whatever she wants. The positioning, she is the queen ADC this game. You cannot get to her, you will not pass go, you will not collect $200. And that is going to be the final dragon picked up here from Boundless Mall, and I think that might be the the icing or the cherry on top of this Sunday.
Yeah, it's just so doomed. If I'm playing Zeri and I look at their team comp and I am like salivating at how easy it is, it's like it's so just easy abilities to deal with. I mean, Yumi literally didn't even use Mikhail's in that fight, which shows that Maokai W and Renekton W weren't able to actually make meaningful impact. Nope. They just don't have follow-up damage. Like Zeri's so much move speed, it's just doomed. So yeah, I might be premature. I said it before. I'm gonna give this game to Boundless Maw. I want to see them win in like the next 2 sequences. I want to see them use this sequence. I mean, Hex Exal's so broken too. Just use this. Just force the Baron. Use the Baron to win a fight. I don't even think you need to play macro, but you probably should. You still have a couple extra turrets to get. There is already at 4.5 items. About to finish BT. It's so doomed.
Get the Baron, do a 1-3-1, pushing all the, well, maybe not a 1-3-1, top lane still has their tier 1, so you can maybe just do a 4-1, push out the mid, push out the bot, and then just kind of methodically siege it from there. Battle of attrition. Just try to push in everything and keep on going from there. But, yeah, getting to a 28-minute mark at this point, a little bit, I don't want to say concerning. It's just, I don't know if it's called for 100%, but hey, I'd rather play too safe than do what happened last game and accidentally throw our ridiculous lead that we have right now. So, Baron, it looks like, will get started, or at least...
I don't think it's possible to throw their lead at this point.
That's what we said last time, dude. And legitimately, and then it was just like, oh, there it is.
It was like the other team had the ability to scale, but this time they don't. They're not going to outscale, so it's like... And they don't have enough tools to do stuff, so I don't know. I mean, my Zeri's resetting for PT right now. It's what are we gonna do?
All right, help me. That's all right. I mean, hey, this is only the second game. We still have one more, so the first 2 games technically don't matter. And oh man, Janna just trying to get vision set up for the Baron as the supports are meant to do. And
that's a 1v3.
Twitch was forced to flash, yes, in that 1v3. Oh god. Here comes Cassante. He doesn't even have teleport. He's just coming in. Maokai catching them out on his little saplings, though. And I think they might be able to push for this Baron. He has no flash. Twitch is just going to get engaged on immediately if he tries.
I'm trying to give, Church of Hjalte, the benefit of the doubt in that game. or in this game, but it's like at some point I'm looking at it like it's it seems kind of doomed, and it's just a matter of like, do you throw the game if you're Boundless Wall? And they did not throw the game. They cleaned this out. So I, I'm not gonna say it's over yet. But if they somehow lose from this, I'm not gonna say anything.
It's
I'm
looking
gonna
like
say
the
that,
beginning of the end. You're allowed to say that.
okay, yeah, I mean this Renekton's gonna die and they're gonna win the game. I'm just gonna say that they won. Since they won, um, what I will say, regardless of what happens, is that Church of Health is really good at their top laner getting a lead. I want to see that lead be played around more. Like, respectfully to Monkey, I think like it is better for them to play around Marshall than Monkey. Like, put Monkey on like not a scaling like carry champ. Put him on like a utility. Put him on like an Ashe. Put him on like a Syndra Victor, whatever it is, and then play around their top lane. Um, and then as long as Boundless Wall was able to get leads in both their games, and it's very clear that if they have like a good scaling composition, and they have, you know, they're not over tempoing, if they're just not making, I guess what I would say are obvious mistakes, these games they should be pretty easy to close out. That's what I'm looking for in game 3.
Well, so the Victor and the Syndra picks have been religiously banned out in round 2. Do you think this should be a priority? And hold on one second. We have an engage, though, from Church on 3 members here on the top side. That's going to be the Cassante, the Zeri, and the Yuumi. Here comes the Maokai ulti. This might be the pick. Now, this is where things started to go last time. Casante's going to ulti over the wall. He's going to separate himself. But, again, I think only delaying the inevitable here. Teleport's going to come through right now from the Mel. And, Church, you are doing a great job running them down. Zeri, though, has the heals, has the shields, has the kiting. And the Mel is going to show up, blow up 3 people instantly. Dat Perps, oh, my God. Looked a little bit shaky, but he said, hold my beer. I got you, my friend, the Quadra. And only awaiting for the Penta. He's invisible. He's basing. They don't know where he's at. Can they find out, though? No, they're not going to step out close enough. And he's going to go back. They still win the game. But damn, that was such a close almost Penta picked up there for Dat Perps. Wukong said, I'm just ending this.
That was effectively like a 3v5. And the 5 people were not able to kill one person before the Mel was able to TP and basically win the fight. I kind of wanted to see Zeri like move a little bit more there, like ult like a little bit earlier and start fighting even before the Mel TP. But yeah, overall really good performance by Ella Small. The Zeri champ is just really fucking strong. I also really enjoy playing that champ. The Zeri Yuumi combo is really good. It's really hard in lane, I feel. But Zeri is a pretty self-sustaining ADC.
True.
That even if you have like a support that doesn't really do that much, you can get out of lane, and then the scaling is just like bonkers. So really good drafting. I think I did predict Boundless Mono in this game, so W for me. Really good drafting, really good execution. I think this game 3 is going to be really interesting. I don't want to say anything. I want to see the draft first.
Bet. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to cut into a short little intermission while we get ready for the 3rd draft and everything. Do not go anywhere. Your boy Rylion and Chaos will be back to end this wonderful series between Church of Hjalte and Boundless Mall.
Bye.
Alrighty, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It's your boy Chaos here with Rylion, and this is the third game in this Elder Division series between Church of Hjalte and Boundless Maw, and what a series it has been so far, man. It's back and forth, back and forth. Church went ahead, upsetting game number one in my opinion, and then a very dominant performance right back to back from Boundless Maw. We were talking a little bit, before, in the intermission. And, it was just like, is this a draft thing? Is this just like, Maw's been consistent in terms of their domination.
Mhm.
What is the upset right now for Church? Or like, what's going on with Church? What do you think they need to do in order to secure this game three, overwhelmingly?
I honestly, and I don't. This is not disrespect. I do think that Sheer is just a better ADC than Monkey. I think what Church should do is put Monkey on like something like Ash or Sivir or Smolder, something that doesn't necessarily need to win. I think Twitch is a very, I would say it's an ego pick.
Mm.
I would say it's a, it's my comfort pick, but it is a carry pick. And if you're maybe he is able to carry, but I think it is better just to pick a standard scale. Like again, like Sivir, you could maybe you could do Jinx, you could do Smolder, you could do Ziggs or something like that, APCs and stuff like that.
Mm.
Marshall's been doing fantastic. I want to see Marshall get more resources, and I want to see him be an absolute raid boss. He's been doing so well in the 1v1, and sometimes he's been winning in disadvantage or like less numbered fights, right?
Right.
So that's what I want to see. Boundless Maw, I kind of want to see a scaling draft again. Draft one was pretty good, and I think if they draft it again and they don't kind of overcommit to certain plays, then they could win. But I think if you're that good, you don't need to pick something that's early, because if you're able to win early game with scaling picks, there's just no way to lose. So I want to see more scale. I want to see good tools, for sure. Like I don't want to see like 3 losing lanes. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I really like the Zeri. I mean, I was obviously getting banned. But getting like a Sivir, getting a Jinx as your ADC pick. Standard control mage is good. Getting your utility jungler. Enchantress supports obviously are just broken. So standard draft, I would say, for Boundless.
Got you. And I don't know if you saw that hover on the Olaf ban for a little. I was like, okay, no Yunara this time. Interesting. So I don't know if maybe they're kind of leaning towards something, maybe foreshadowing a potential like,
Mhm.
hey, you should either pick this or, if you don't, you're going to regret it. But there's that Victor pick that we were saying because they've kept that Victor ban as their secondary ban list. Never mind, they're going with the Vlad.
That is not a pick. Do not pick Vlad.
Okay. Oh,
Cinder's
and the
fine.
Syndrome. Okay, so yeah, those two have been left. I was going to say hardcore as the second bans every single time. I expect to see them pick it first in the first round. I genuinely hope so because you've mentioned it a couple of times, like how strong those two are right now. And just being able to get them, at least in this game number 3, should be imperative. And it looks like that's the
Yeah.
goal right now for Boundless.
I think I would have liked to see the Victor more out of Boundless. I would not be surprised if Church picked Victor at some point early in this one too.
There you go.
I would profit. Like I think the Victor is a I think the Victor's a better B1. It takes it away from Moki's pool, and also Moki doesn't have a lot of champions that can punish and mobile control mages. Like he doesn't play assassins, right? He doesn't play Akali, he doesn't play Zed, he doesn't play stuff like that.
Mm.
So taking Moki off of the comfort might be better, but maybe they're prioritizing their own mid laner's comfort. I don't know what he plays. Um, but yeah, I think that's one thing I would like to see. Now, from the side of Church, I want to see like a traditional ADC. Oh, Vi's actually pretty good. Okay,
Ooh.
so one thing I was gonna say about Victor, Syndra, just in general, is that Maokai's out of the pool, J4's out of the pool, and Messa's out of the pool. There's not as many dive champions available. Vi was one of them.
Right.
I think Vi pick is too early. I especially because Vi Victor, I don't think is a good duo because Vi wants to dive in, but Victor wants people to come into you. So you kind of already have a little bit of a disconnect. I think their 2v2 skirmishing is pretty good, but when it comes to team fights, I think you're going to be a little bit you're going to be in a little bit of a weirder spot. I think I would have much rather preferred to see like a standard ADC on the side of Hjalte. Because now you're into Lucian Melia. Yeah, this is what like shoes Lucian Melia. This is gonna be
Mm.
it's gonna be solid. They're not drafting scaling. They are drafting something early.
Right.
So a bit of Lulu pick.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very. Is that Victor APC? No, I'm just kidding. That's going to be Victor Mid.
It it probably is a Victor mid. Oh, interesting.
Lock.
Okay. Okay. Locke is really strong in this match. just in general. I think it got nerfed, but I think Locke is still really strong. Locke is really good into a mobile control mages. And I think he's also really good into Syndra because if Locke should be able to E the Syndra QE if he times it well enough, and at that point Syndra's just doomed. But I don't know if Moki plays it. This is going to be interesting. So that is a Victor APC. That is what I said. I do want to see APC bot lane, and I want to see Hjalte picking support here on 4, obviously. Like, it's going to be Victor plus support into Lucian Melio. Get a really good R5 top, potentially a roaming support on this 4 pick. Like, you could pick something like, I think Bard's okay. I think, I don't think Pike. I think Pike is okay. You're not going to get much done in lane.
True.
Because Victor doesn't have a lot of supplemental damage. Alistar's pretty good. I'm looking to see stuff like this. I guess we'll see. We see Leona band come out. We see Mundo band come
Nautilus
out.
would still be pretty solid, I think, right?
Nautilus is pretty good. Yeah, actually, Nautilus is really good. It's unfortunate Bessa's out because otherwise you have Vi, Nautilus, and Bessa.
Oof.
But yeah, Nautilus is really good. Double lockdowns. Mundo's a really good band right now. Hjalte has no way of dealing with Mundo.
And they have no front line, really, for either team right now.
Correct. Yeah. So I think Vi is quasi frontline, and then now you have Locke follow up with Vi, which is okay. I think Vi, I feel like would want someone that can. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I think Vi would want someone to have some kind of CC. I guess Locke can slow, so that can set up the Vi. I think the Vi Locke skirmishing 2v2 is really good. Yeah, they should be picking like, I would say a roaming support would be best here. Maybe a healing support could be okay.
Nami, I think Nami would be pretty good here.
Nami's pretty. Yeah, Nami's pretty good. Good call. The heal can match the meal. Like, the problem with Lucian. Okay, the problem with Lucian I have is that into champions that have very high range, Lucian is a short trade champion, and if you're into a champion that has very high range like Victor, you almost have to eat in. But then if the opposing laner can out trade an extended trade onto you, like Ashe, for example, then Lucian can never basically play the game.
Akali top.
The hell? Is that an Akali top?
It is.
Wait. Okay, these guys are cooking. This is not standard at all. Oh, I don't know what they're gonna pick here. What do they want to pick here in jungle? What does this guy play?
Oh no, you said it hard engage before. I was thinking Zac instead of Vi if they wanted some hard engage like that. I don't know how well that would work, but they do need the front line. Is this a lock top, by the way? No, this is lock mid. I'm sorry. We already said Victor APC. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if they're trying to they're like overly flexing. I don't even know what to predict here out of the jungle.
Nocturne. Oh.
Oh, this Syndra is completely shafted, dude. If I'm Syndra, I'm like, guys, what are we doing here?
This is horrible.
But it's a really interesting comp by Boundless. They're just perma fighting. They're just skirmishing. They're just diving. So Hjalte, what do they want to pick here? It's a top lane that can deal with Akali. I think he's standard. Okay.
A Scion. Okay. I mean, able to sustain.
Well, I don't know what to think about this.
He just wants to just be tanky, really. He's like, I'm the front line. I'll be the engage. I'll be the starter of all the team fights with my ultimate, more than likely. Just, I don't know what they're supposed to do, though. The comp of Boundless is kind of weird right now. I'm not going to lie. The Syndra Akali Nocturne, I don't know how synergetic that works all together. And it's like, do you even ulti topside if you're Nocturne? So is this supposed to be like an Akali Nocturne, like, stomp in the top? Is he supposed to jump onto the lock mid here? I really don't know what they're supposed to focus, I'll be honest.
I don't like putting Marshall on Scion because Marshall's been doing really well, and I don't think you want to put him on a tank, but maybe he didn't have any comfortable matchups into Akali. I don't play top lane, so I don't know what would be good. Yeah, Boundless Maw is so interesting. They have effectively no CC besides Syndra QE. They just have raw damage.
Yeah.
So they're just looking to one-shot whoever they can see. I feel like Locke might be a little bit hard to lock down, but I think anybody else they can actually lock down, even if they get onto the Vi. I mean, it's obviously it's a very scrappy game. Like, it's just, okay. I'm assuming it's an Akali top and then Syndra mid. Which means you're going to have Nocturne Syndra, which is not a bad duo. I think Locke Vi is also not a bad duo. This whole game is just whoever has better hands, I feel. Because if Balance Mod doesn't have the hands, I think Church would be able to win. Because Balance Mod's team wants to go into Church of Hjalte's team, but Church of Hjalte's team likes that. Like Victor W, Victor R, Nami ults, like Sion can be a body. Um, Vi does have the ability. I don't know how to read this game. This is a really interesting draft. I think I'll slightly give draft to Hjalte's team, but Balance Mod has been very, I guess, good about getting early game leads, and at least in game two, they were able to take that early game lead all the way to the Nexus. So if I think Boundless Mon, if they're able to get an early game lead, they're gonna win. I think their mid game is super strong. Akali, Nocturne, Lucian has really, really strong mid game. So I think if they're able to get an early game lead and they're able to just basically not let Church of Hjalte play at all, then they'll be able to win. But if they do make any mistakes, I think this draft is even more unforgiving than the game one draft, because if they don't get ahead, they have no tank, they have no CC, and at some point they may not have damage. I think maybe Akali will have damage, maybe Syndra will have damage, but you're gonna have to get through a lot to do that damage. So it's reminiscent of game one draft. I think this is it, but it's harder to execute for sure.
Instead of the Melio, that's the only thing that I really don't like about Boundless Mall is that Melio. I would have gotten Lulu there instead. I'm looking at the ultimate from Melio, and I'm not seeing really much value from it. I see a Vi knockup, I see a Nami knockup, I see Sion knockups. She can't do anything with knockups at all. She is anti, like, I believe, crowd control, and knockup is not part of that umbrella that she's able to really counter or do anything against. But the Lulu, I think, would have been infinitely better here. For the polymorph, right as soon as Vi goes in, or Locke decides to go in, or Sion decides to go in, I'll just polymorph you. You're going to be effectively useless from this point forward. Plus, I can go ahead and hugify either my Lucian or my Syndra or whoever my hyper carry is that I need to protect. That's the only thing that really concerns me a little bit. I like the Melio in terms of just like the laning phase between Nami and Victor. Able to go ahead. Just I know they have far poking. With the Victor laser, the Victor ultimate, and stuff like that. I'm able to heal you. I'm able to shield you, speed you up. Victor's able to trap you in there, so I'm able to go ahead and ulti you out of that, I guess. But that's my only quandary, I guess, with Boundless is just that Melio pick personally. I am leaning towards Church to close out the series just because I do like their combo a little bit better. And like you said, at the end of the day, it's just going to be about whose hands are better, right, in each laning phase. I've never seen a Victor APC before. Now that we've seen it, I'm going to be seeing him all over God's green earth now in my solo duo games. And I just think bot lane's going to be screwed for another couple months. This AP meta is terrible.
Yeah.
But, I'm leaning towards Church for game number 3 to close this whole thing out. We did start the predictions for you guys at home as well. Took them a little bit longer than normal to start up the in-game itself. But still, this has been a very interesting series so far, Chaos here, and I am glad that I've had the pleasure of you and your brain, because this has been a very complicated draft every single time, and just being able to analyze it and get your look at it has really helped me. I'm not gonna lie, because I would have had a loss of words for a lot of these.
Yeah, these games, these drafts are insane. It's always fun to watch Elder games as well, or the upper brackets games as well. There's usually a lot of layers that you kind of have to go through to understand what people are thinking, and at that point, people also have a lot of different interpretations of like what plays are good and what win cons they want to play for. So also for me, just good research, because obviously I'm going to play against these guys, so knowing how they want to play is good for me.
Absolutely.
I guess yeah, we'll have to see. I also hate this mage bot meta, but one thing I'll say is that usually if you're picking mages, it's because you, in the nicest way, you are just not good at piloting marksmen. Like, I think marksmen are going to just generally do a lot. They have a lot more consistent damage. They have good objective threat. Mages are really good at neutralizing and winning lanes, especially if they're alone. So I think like they're really good, but if I had the choice of picking a traditional mage or an ADC, especially I would say in like our elos, maybe like when you get to pro play, it changes.
Right.
But I think traditional marksmen are going to have a lot more value in standard drafts. I mean, we've had that meta for more than a decade, right? And like it's there for a reason. So, anyways, I guess we'll see.
Yes, sir, we will. And we will see you all back in just a couple of minutes here while we get ready for everything. So do not go anywhere. This is the final game of this wonderful Elder series between Boundless Maw and Church of Hjalte. A lot of great action and a lot more goods to come. Do not go anywhere. Your boy Rideline and Chaos will be right back.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It's your boy Ryline here in Chaos, and like I said, this is the final game of this insane series between Church of Hjalte and Boundless Maw in this Elder series this week. Church will be on blue, Boundless will be on red. Let's break down the champions and their players real quick, starting in the top side for blue for us, Chaos. What do we got?
Sure. So on blue side, we have Boundless Maw. Same as game one, we have Ragoon in the top lane. We have Liver in the jungle. We have Dap Perps in the mid lane. We have Sheila Grace and Bob Killer in the bot lane.
Perfect. And then on the other side of the rift, we have Marshall on the top side with Zion, with Joe Mama with Vi in the jungle, Moki with Locke in the mid, Monkey on ADC Victor, and Logistics Max Win on the Nami support. I think I have the icons mixed up if I'm not mistaken. Boundless is on blue side, are they not? Hjalte is on
Yeah,
red,
I think
yes.
Boundless is on blue side.
Yes, okay, good. Let me fix that real fast. Sorry about that. But anything pointing or anything crazy jumping out to you for this final game? Runes, masteries, matchups? What's itching your brain right now?
Let's see. Just in terms of runes, I don't play mid lane. I don't know how good Comet is on Syndra feel like you might want to opt in for Airy just because if you do hit Q, it might be hard for the Comet to hit unless you hit. Maybe you're going for WQ or something. I'm not sure. But you know, it's potato. On the side of Church, I think everything is pretty standard in terms of runes and masteries. One thing to note, Locke does have Ignite, not TP. So he's just playing for the early lane kills, not for the mid game macro. And then yeah, items is all it's all good. So nothing that stands out to me at the moment. We do see both junglers are pathing down as they should. I can expect the Akali to win top side, but I don't know.
It
what
is
about
a
you?
Scion.
Anything you're looking for?
No,
It is a Scion.
That Scion Akali matchup, it just depends. If Akali's able to snowball early, you know, she's able to get those early kills and then just absolutely take over the game. Having two, like, assassin APs is a big problem for any ADC. I don't know how big of a problem it is for an APC. And yep, Vi into the mid lane here. Nice early gank. Starting up that Q. No vision, no nothing. First blood picked up for Moki. Already a great look here for Church.
Yeah, that was a crazy look. He just skipped his bot camps to go for the mid gank, knowing that he is going to sack tempo. Also knowing that he can gank and Nocturne can't. Syndra's overextended. Really good play. That is huge. I mean, no flashes were burned. It's just a kill. So Syndra's able to TP back and not lose too much. Nocturne, I guess, is going to pull clear and go for top score. He's going to be up at tempo. But that means Locke is going to have so much extra kill threat. I mean, this is already a Locke favorite matchup. Now it's going to be even scarier for the Syndra to pilot. So playing around the mid lane win con is, I think, a really good idea. That's what I would have thought as well looking at draft, is you kind of want to isolate the Victor Nami. Like, I don't think much is going to happen as long as they don't go down. Like, I mean, they're already down 7 CS, which kind of sucks. But, like, as long as they don't, like, die a lot and make the bot lane unplayable, I think Locke is going to go nuclear in this game because they don't have CC, bro.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
He's probably going to flash. Should be fine. Yeah, they don't have any CC for Locke besides Syndra QE. And that itself is also a skill shot. And then Locke can just, like, one-shot anybody on their team because he's an actual assassin. This is a really good game for Locke. Like, I want to see Moki carry this game.
And Locke's starting off 1-0, plus he has like 40 billion dashes, just like every other new champ that comes out. So being able to lock him down is going to be a challenge all on its own. Thank you. Do you expect to see...
Punny around.
Do you expect to see any potential roaming this game from either support, or do you expect to see it at 2v2 more than likely?
I mean, I wanted to see roaming game 1. I wanted to see roaming game 2. At this point, I don't expect anyone to roam. I also do think this bot lane is trade heavy. Like, I'm not looking at a Lucian Victor lane. I'm just like, these guys are not just going to, like, not trade. I think they're both incentivized to trade a little bit. So I expect both supports to stay bot here. And also, like, how much are both of these supports going to be able to... I mean, I think Nami is a better ganker than Melio. So maybe Nami can move out of the lane and help the Locke. I don't expect Emilio to roam.
Yeah. And besides, you just want to kind of all in on this Victor anyways the moment that he's left in a 2v1, because Lucian, I don't think he scales very well. He is a very early champion, you know what I mean? You want to get him ahead early, you want to snowball him early. After that, he just kind of falls off and a little bit lackadaisical on damage, in my opinion.
He does a surprising amount of damage. Like, I do think he scales well. I don't think he's like a hyper scaler. Like, I don't think he's gonna match like the likes of Jinx and Sivir and the Field Hills and stuff like that. But he can do really well, especially if your team is up on tempo, and then you can like set up tempo traps and, like, you know, basically just use calling for damage.
Oh, we have a gank coming in from Locke in the same direction that the Vi came from, and he has the ultimate. Syndra pops the ultimate to, you know, save herself, it looks like here. Vi with a gank of her own inside the bot lane. Very nice kiting, very nice escape here from Bob and Shu. Had to burn the flash from the Lucian here and the heal off Melio, but still, great looks from across the map. Almost a potential look in the mid there from Moki.
Yeah, good attempt on the solo kill. Looks like he's getting ganked now, though. Oh no, Moki.
Oh no, indeed.
He doesn't have...
No. Oh my.
The Akali! Too early. That's unfortunate. That's bad. Yeah, it looks like Moki did flash there, and was able to almost get a solo kill, and then there was a... I don't know if it was a failed Vi gank, because you did burn heal and flash.
Right.
So overall, same exact game state. Maybe a couple summoners burned up until this first streak is coming up.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of action. Fortunately for both teams, or unfortunately, it looks like they weren't able to pick up anything either in the mid or on that bot side, though. WinCon currently calling it a little bit early. It looks like Locke might be the WinCon, I would say, for Church. You know, definitely get him ahead, get him fed, and then we'll just play around him. If that fails, though, should they try transitioning to the late game scaling Victor?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think Sion and Victor scale really well. I think that especially Sion is just like, who the hell? Oh, this is a good ult.
Oh, yeah, it is. Cease and
Nice change,
desist.
CC.
Sorry, do not. Yeah, you're not going
kill.
nowhere. Great job from Marshall and Vi.
Nice, good kill. So yeah, I think that's pretty accurate assessment. I think Locke does really well into their team, and I think Victor Sion also scales really well especially into the composition. Oh, solo kill.
Oh my god, yeah. Hey,
Look at the auto.
he's like an AP Briar. I hate him so much.
Yeah, Locke is insane. Locke is my I ban Locke if I can't ban Caitlyn. Like if Caitlyn is banned, then I'm just like I need to ban Locke. Sometimes I'm just like I'll deal with Caitlyn just because Locke is insane. Oh,
Ooh, paranoia. Yep, paranoia is going off. Yeah, they're just too close to the towers every single time that they go to gank him.
Yeah, that hurts. Nocturne is on a pretty long cooldown. You want to make sure every ultimate is like valuable. It's like give me a cooldown. Oh my god, it's getting solo killed.
Yep, let me go ahead. You're gonna come for me. I'm coming right back for you in spades. By the way, another kill picked up here from Moki. Wow, 3-0 on the map, and 2 of them are on that block. That's not good.
Yeah, a good job to punish the Cinder Flash. That's crazy. He ate a Nocturne gank, and then he solo killed the Cinder on top of it. Like, this Locke champion is insane. Like, they don't have enough CC to lock him down, and then he could just, like, walk around and just kill everybody because he's an assassin. That's, like, been accelerated. So I think if somehow they lose the game, it's probably because Moki didn't play well. But this is a really good game to Moki to show his stuff. He's very strong right now.
Yeah, I don't think Moki's gonna have any issues with that. I mean, the Akali's also having a couple of problems in the top side dealing with this Sion. Meanwhile, in the bot lane though, the Nami ult is gonna go a little bit wide, misses the Lucian. Lucian low on mana along with Melio. Has to pop the ultimate from Victor, but Melio has the heals, she has the shields, and they're just gonna go ahead
Nocturne
and
is flanking.
walk right on out of there. Like you said, Nocturne flanking from the Tri-Bush on behind. They do have flash and heal available here. And they are going to go ahead and make it out, not having to burn any summoners, actually. So, nice job on them.
Oh my god, they're going too far. Monkey, no! You should have realized.
Oh, here we go. Yep, they're just going to wrap around just like that. Oh my god, yeah, they still have flash available. I don't know if they should burn it, though, just yet. They do hold on to it for the last moment, and they get the great escape. Gwen Stefani started playing in the background. Oh my god.
Yeah, I just don't think, like... Monkey just, I think, needs to really just be very mindful of, like, oh, the jungler's off maps, I can't do much. I mean, he's probably fine. He resets TP backs, collects the wave. Now they go for a top dive on a Akali.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? Of course. He's like, I'll eat. Wait, are they not? Okay, I was going to say.
The chains is crazy. Oh, they survived, too. Well played. Good dive.
Almost scuffed. Almost scuffed.
Yeah, almost a trade kill by the Akali. I don't know if the Sion had a shutdown before that, but that would have been really good. And now Nocturne is taking a dragon. Like, this is the first time, by the way, that we've seen Church of Hell actually get a lead in the early game.
A 2,000 gold lead. They had 1,000 last
year. Yeah, and like the gold is on, I think, besides the 1 kill on Sion, the gold is on the players you want the gold to be on. Like, you don't expect bot lane to turn into any kills because they're a double enchanter, but you want your lock to be accelerated. You want your Vi to be accelerated, and they are. Like, Vi is on item, lock is on item. Like, what I want to see now is them looking to rotate bot and then dive the Lucian Milio and then now get the Victor Nami ahead. Like, I know they've been doing that on Akali, so if you want to keep doing that on Akali, you can. But at this point, it's going to be not about killing Cinder anymore. It's about winning the map.
And personally, especially for an APC, it seems like going even is a victory all on its own because you want to scale up. Victor wants to scale up. As long as he's not dying, that's really a victory. And here comes the Nocturne. I could have spoken a little bit too soon. He's out of range. It feels like just got into the range of the Nami, though. Here comes the Tidal Wave to go ahead and stop the other two from pursuing. There's the culling to take down the Nami, so Sushi is on the menu here. 1 kill finally on the board for Boundless Maw and given to the Lucian. Nice job, True Gloss.
Yeah, it should have been 3 kills, honestly. Like, I think Church of Hell's bot lane really needs to stop doing anything Just in general, just stop doing anything. Like your jungler is topside, your mid lane is winning. You don't even need to trade. Just see, yes, you're farming and you're doing okay. By trying to make the lane volatile, you are making the rest of your team really bad. So I want to see. I mean, I think that's the E1 misses. Okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh, top lane. Oh, Doc's gonna fight Syndra.
Oh,
Syndra Q is good.
yeah, that was a good
Nocturne should kill the Scion. No, he doesn't. Wild, but I mean, Vi's on vision, so just don't play.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I just want to say bot lane just do less. Like Nami did not need to go for both there. Just like farm. So to the one thing you mentioned about like APCs are incentivized to not, to scale. I don't think that's correct. APCs are very, very strong in lane, and if you're playing APCs to just farm and scale, you could do that. I think traditional ADCs would be a lot better for that. APCs are really strong in lane. You want to try to get a CS lead. You want to try to get plays. You want to try to get tempo resets. Especially because you're not going to provide any objective DPS later on in the game, so you kind of are incentivized to get a lane lead. It's so easy to not feel the need to do that because you have such a strong lane. It's like a Caitlyn just like going 10 CS per minute. That's actually losing because you want to get plates. So like the fact that Victor is down 7 CS is actually quite bad. I do think that Victor is going to do better into the Lucian as the game goes on, especially into the comp. Like they could just drop a WR as soon as Nocturne or Kali tried to dive, which is why I do favor Church of Hjalte comp just a little bit better, is that they're better into the dive than vice versa. So, but if the lock game plan doesn't work out, Victor scaling is going to be like a backup win con. So I think Church of Hjalte has a lot of tools to kind of navigate this draft and get to the enemy nexus.
Absolutely. And I wasn't saying not to incentivize it. I was saying if you can't get ahead, at least maintaining is a victory, I think, on my own. But here we go, stepping up. They know that Nocturne ulti is going to be up in 1 minute or less, it seems like. And the focus now on the Victor. Liver does get that kill now, and that's going to be a second kill picked up here for the side of Boundless Maw. What was a perfect game, now starting to turn a little bit awry in favor of Boundless. They do also have a top side tower taken here, it looks like, for Church, so that tier 1 does fall a little bit earlier than the other games were. A little bit rough on the top side, actually. I mean, she's had a couple ganks. She had a tower dive happen to her as well. I don't know how effective Kali's going to be in the later parts of this game.
Yeah, the Scion R5 is really good. I mean, you just build Kanik and then he's unkillable, and then he's able to take it to top T1, now he's pushing top T2. So Kali blind, not so super good, but also Marshall I think has just been outperforming Rigu in this series. I think with this bot lane though, I think I think it's just they're trying too hard to win when their objective this game is to just go even when their top side is winning. Just really like a humble weak side and farm in stuck in kills. Oh, that's a nice.
Oh my god, from the fog of war. Great flash though to get underneath tower. Vi does survive, it looks like. Oh, never mind. She did flash, but I don't think she's oh, never mind.
The Nocturne flash.
And here comes the Akali, able to get onto the back line. The Victor, that's played. 2. And here's the Shuriken. Oh, straight back to bot lane here, it looks like. Thank you, direct to camera, UPOS. Anyways, right back to the mid lane here. It looks like the fight has ended, and Locke holding his own in a 2v1. But damn, that was a much-needed pickup there for the Akali, 2-2, so she is relevant. And they are now 4-5 on the scoreboard.
But this is exactly what I mean, where like Vi wants to dive, and Victor can assist, but he's not a dive champion. I think if instead of that, if you had Victor bot and Locke mid, that's an entirely different fight. That Syndra gets blown up super quickly and Locke's able to escape. Akali doesn't get a trade kill. Like I don't like that we're oh
yeah, that's an interesting tidal wave, I would say. I mean, they do have 2 members there. The Paranoia is going to come through as well. They're going to continue the hunt, but in the dark, I don't know if that's the right choice. Melio trying to take cover overnight, does get an escape. Unreal. This is the game of escapes right now. Highlights across the board for both teams. But, damn. Dragon is also going to get started here, it looks like, by the Vi, so they will secure their first Dragon on the side of Church, it looks like. Whew, scrappy little start to this.
Like, look at how much pressure, like, Locke is able to do to their team. Like, you want Locke in these fights. I don't think Vi should ever press R unless Locke is also pressing R on the same target. Like, if you're trying to ult and have Victor help you, that is not a good play. I mean, your Moki, like your Locke is 3 levels ahead of your Victor, is like 26 CS ahead, and he's gonna do way more damage, especially in a burst fight, than Victor will. Right. So I just want to see more of that. But yeah, any fight Moki's in, any fight that Locke is in, is a winning fight. And especially you add Scion into the mix, and bro, like there's nobody on on the side of Boundless Mod that can deal with the Scion. I don't think their whole composition. Like, I think just Scion just clears, and Locke also just clears.
Like, genuinely, you have to send at least 2 or 3 members to deal with the Scion, and if that's the case, we're just going to go ahead and take the other side of the map or whatever objective's up on the board here. So, you know, they do have that Scion in hand. Akali in these team fights, you know, is it, again, going to be a little bit more relevant, so they have to be careful with that Victor positioning and that Nami positioning, but I think that Vi and that Locke just need to just target one person, both of them, like you said, ultimates for both, and that target is Gonzo.
Like this is the kind of stuff I'm like a little bit concerned about.
Oh, great! Here we
go.
And
once again, our Locke is.
Yes, he is not, and Vi just trying to make any plays happen across the board, but the Paranoia actually pretty good. They didn't exactly get the burst that they wanted, but the Lucian is here, the double shot as well. Shula Gloss takes down Monkey, the Culling comes through, but damage from the Locke is finally here, so that's one target. Nice pushback, hits all 3 members from Syndra, but Scion is wrapping around, and Ragoon is going to go ahead and take that kill here. And Akali is going to also get one, so answers 2 for 2 in this team fight. Very even still, 3-2 now on this Akali. Like I said, it's just about the positioning. She just has to go right for them, and out they go.
These deaths don't need to happen. Just wait for the Locke. Like, you also, these fights are happening while Locke is pushing a side wave, and it's not even like Locke is not there. It's that the person that Locke is matching is not there either, meaning that you're taking a fight effectively down numbers. It's just nice that Locke is able to get to the fight and then is able to clean up because he's playing an assassin. And it's really nice that the fight moved in the direction of the lane that Locke was in. It moved into bot lane, right? It moved into the bot side jungle. If the fight moved into the top side jungle, Locke is never going to be able to be part of that fight. Like, really, just stop looking for anything without Locke. Like, your Victor is not the person that's going to get you to the Nexus. It's Locke. They're getting away with it, but I feel like it's only going to go so far. I do think their comp is better.
Oh, yep, on repeat. Here it goes. Right when the curtain gets called, someone's going to die. And if the support is on the map with no other vision, it's probably going to be you.
Yeah, that's the one. I feel like these are the few ways that Boundless Mod can win, is they find these picks. Right? It is a skirmish comp. It's not a team fight comp. It's a mid-game comp. Like, this is where their team is going to shine, is if they can find these isolated targets, get these slight numbers advantage fights, and turn that tempo advantage into some objectives here or there. But they do need to clean out the game. If they don't, I think they're not going to be able to deal with Church of Valence like the entire team.
Yeah, and I mean, I know supports are supposed to get that vision. I know supports are supposed to clear that vision. But when you have somebody who's able to ulti you every 45 seconds and burst you 100 to 0, you got to travel with your team, or you got to have a ward buddy or something to help you clear this,
exactly.
Because you cannot just be giving them free gold on repeat, because that is how they stay relevant. That is how they come back, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's only a 700 gold difference between these two teams, and at the beginning of this game, I mean, actually, this has been the most even game so far, but it shouldn't be this close, you know? A couple of mistakes that shouldn't have been made.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, Nami should not be warding alone. Wait for your Victor to push out a wave. Wait for Lucian Milio to take the wave under the turret. And Akali's probably fine here. And then move together to get vision. Don't get vision by yourself. I think this is just support fundamentals that I think they're trying to skip past. And if I was Nami, I'd be even more scared. Like, they have so many threats on their team. I would be terrified to put any wards down without having 3 people backing me up. So, if they keep doing that, then there is a way for Boundless Mod to clinch a win. But the less of those opportunities they make available, the higher percentage probability that Church of Hell should be able to close out the game, because Locke and Scion are so good into this composition.
Letting Locke through in general is just kind of like alarming. Oh, hold on one second. He might be getting caught out here. No ultimate from Nocturne. Kind of shocking, but he was nowhere close, I don't think, to be able to do so. He's level 11. Yeah, he's over level 11, so he has that level 2 ulti available. A little bit longer distance. Baron is up. Dragon's up in 10 seconds here. They might look for a potential trade, Baron for Drag. I don't think that I would do that. Try to force a fight around Dragon if I was Church. Boundless Maw, they're kind of spread out. They don't have that much vision. I don't know. That's what I'd be going for if I was Church right now.
Yeah, like the both teams have really bad Baron take. I think Boundless Maw has a little bit of a better Baron take. Problem with the Church is that they have Locke and Victor as their solo lanes, or sorry, as like, you know, as their primary DPS.
Right.
So their Baron take's gonna be really slow, and then Boundless Maw just don't have a tank. I mean, Nocturne can tank maybe, but Lucian also doesn't do a lot of damage. So it's like Baron is just really difficult to take for both teams, even especially as like a cross map. So this dragon is just free for the side of Hjalte. I like this play. I like it when it's like you're not gonna win a fight, or if you don't have good setup, or you think it's a flip, that you're just gonna cross map. And I like the fact that Syndra went top, took a T1 off, gets some gold. Now the gold lead is not even like 500, it's like 200 gold lead. It's a very even game. But I do think it is slightly Hjalte favored.
Do they have to slow the tempo down? Oh, hold on 1 second. They're not slowing down anytime soon, though. This is a lot of resources used on this Scion. He is caught underneath tower, and it is pretty healthy here. Pops the ultimate and the flash. Running through base? No way he survives this. Yeah, no way.
Oh my
No
god!
way! What a freaking highlight. I was like, he dies here, right? No, he does not. What an someone clip that. You have to take that for Marshall. Marshall, what an absolute giga. Dear God.
Okay, one thing I do want to mention is that even though Scion is taking literally 4 people, the rest of Hjalte's team can't do Baron because of their team composition, right? This is the weakness of having a victory PC, is that you're not allowed to do these neutral objective cross maps. So at the end of the day, that's a good for Boundless spot. They just burned Scion ult flash TP for effectively nothing. So now they're technically stronger for this next fight, but it's just a funny sequence.
I would have in my ADC slot LDR already lined up. Like, please, I need an LDR. This is ridiculous. It looks like he's going for what, an Essence Reaver maybe? No, he's not. He's going for IE. Yep, IE next. I don't know if IE's. I mean, it's not horrible, obviously, but LDR I think might be a little bit more effective personally.
But even through that, like just Lucian in general. I think, like, also Lucian did not go Essence Reaver or Navori, meaning I straight up do not think he has enough damage to kill the Scion. He went for the I'm going to kill a squishy build. Like, he went for Storm-based Rapid Fire, which means he wants to try to find a Victor, maybe a Locke, or like a Nami. How well is Lucian going to find those targets in a fight? I think it's kind of suspect. So in general, I think Lucian is... we'll see how much. Let's see who actually does the most in these fights. It's got to be Locke, but then after Locke, who's like the fight clincher?
Victor, maybe.
Maybe he's only on 2 items. Victor probably could do a lot.
Yeah, he's still ridiculous.
I think Scien's just so nuclear.
God, look at Scion. He's such a beast. Look at all that health. He barely takes any damage. A Koling's gonna go ahead and try to clear the wave here. Here comes the paranoia as well. Fight gets started. Tidal Whip to go ahead and stop the full engage. Oh man, all the attention there on to the Nocturne, who just flashes and cleanses out of everything. No one's dead just yet in these fights. Scion ulti comes through. Everyone spreads like the Red Sea, though. Does make collision with Milio, who will be the first victim in a long team fight here around this tier 2 blue side tower. And that will be the only victim, I believe, is going to be Bob Killer. So a whole lot used from both sides in this very, very bloody team fight. Jesus, only one person dying in that whole thing is crazy. What a move from Liver.
Yeah, I'm watching back the fight right now. So it opened with Nocturne trying to ult the backline, but they don't have follow-up, right? I mean, like, the only follow-up they have is Akali. They don't have, like, follow-up dive. So Nocturne basically just gets one shot and has to, like, flash out. Akali, I think Nami played it well to not get killed by the Akali, but then at that point, they have nothing else in the tank. They didn't do enough damage to anyone that Syndra can ult. Lucian has to get through Scion to kill. So at this point, like, they just are going to lose the fight. Scion ults and basically just one-shots the little Mexican child, and then he's just dead. And it's just, how do you play the rest of this game? If Nocturne can't one-shot somebody, then the fight is over. But there's no way Nocturne is going to be able to one-shot somebody because he has no one to follow up with, or no one can follow up with him besides, like, Akali. But that's also not CC, so everyone could just run away.
The only one he could really one-shot is Nami, and that's the most useless person, in my opinion, to take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, that I'm not doing that. I'm not giving up my life for this Nami. And yeah, I don't know what else that they're really supposed to do, unless they can find like a pick. If Akali can somehow get the Nami, and then that allows Nocturne to focus down the Victor, maybe, that is a potential look that they can go for, but Akali has to somehow maneuver around the Scion, the Vi, the Light, to get to the Nami. So this is rough.
So doomed. It's so doomed because you're trying to dive into a Victor. That's exactly what he wants. You're diving into a Victor and a Nami, And like then your Scion is going to be just like body blocking the rest of your follow-up damage. Syndra and Lucian are going to do nothing to the Scion. Like I don't see a world where they get a single kill. If Balance Ball plays well, or sorry, if Hjalte plays well, I don't see a world where Balance Ball gets a single kill from this point in the game. Their comp is so mid-game focused, and the burden of execution is so high that it's just so hard to pull off.
It really is, and I also think that Nocturne did a great job. I'm sorry, Vi did a great job of setting up the lock here for just individual success, you know, versus the Syndra, who, you know, still is going to be doing damage later on. It's just taking her a lot longer to match the items and then the potential damage output that Locke just has right now. So, you know, if they're able to just mitigate as much as they can in these next couple of team fights, try not to die, try to get some more CS funneled into this Syndra, or hopefully maybe even a shutdown. That would be even better. If she can get an execute, they can get a pick off and get this on over to Syndra, get her a third item, then she could start taking care of a couple of these problem people as well, or it being in addition to her team.
I mean, even the issue with that is that first off, Syndra went Cosmic Drive, she didn't go Shadow Flame, and she's nowhere near her Rabadons, so she doesn't have damage. Then you also don't have a viable target because Vi and Scion are going to ult you. You're never going to be the person moving forward into their team because the only person who can do that for you is Nocturne, and he's not going to set up any CC for you. Like, Syndra is just homeless. Like, they B1 Syndra, and they did nothing to actually help the Syndra play. They kind of just sacked her. So what they kind of need to do from this point is know that red team doesn't have Baron DPS, so Akali should just go inside and maybe
That's the look that they needed. Lucian's going to go ahead and burst down the Victor, but the Victor is able to get away. Great job, Nocturne, from the paranoia there, and onto the backline the Scion goes, and just like we saw time and time again, he is not taking any damage whatsoever. This guy is an unstoppable force and an immovable object all on their own. There goes the first death, down goes Liver, onto the backline, and into the grave he goes. Zhonya's gets popped, but the double kill being picked up by Locke, and this is where Locke is going to thrive. Here's the triple, here's the quadra, and the penta is just a couple moments away. Can he reach the Milio? I highly doubt it, but 4 for 0 overall. Quadra picked up by Locke, and a nice Baron.
Like, I feel like I'm reading these fights pretty well. There's no way that anybody dies on the side of Hjalte if they play like normal League of Legends. That was a 4v5, by the way. Locke was top pushing a wave, and they still couldn't kill anybody on Hjalte, and Hjalte probably would have won that fight even if Locke never entered the fight. Like, they just won a 4v5 straight up, and then your 8-0 Locke joins the, well, 4-0 Locke, now 8-0 Locke joins the fight. You guys don't have the tools to deal with all the comp. And at this point, I don't know what you can do. Like, maybe you can go for some side cross-map, like turrets. Like, that's probably what they should have done, is not take these 5v5s where they have no damage and no setup, and just go for macro. Just play side lanes, play the turrets, pull someone to the side. Now, I guess at that point, you have to pull 2 people to the side, because even if Locke isn't in the fight, you still lose the 5v4. Like, this is just really hard. This is just bad drafting. And then also, as you said, like, Lucian doesn't have LDR, so he's not gonna get through. Even if he did, he would not be able to get through Scion.
No.
I don't know. It's just doomed.
It was a good look. It looked good for a second there. You know, they were able to burst Victor down to 50% health, and it was like, Nocturne, you better launch this shit right now because it's the only opportunity that we're gonna get. And he did, but they had flashes, they had ultis, they had everything in the chamber ready to go, and I don't know. It was just, again, just a bad time. And here they go, trying again. It is a 3v4. The numbers are in their favor, but Liver is the only one available. Oh my god, the Zhonya's gets popped. The ultimates and the teleports are coming through as well. They still don't get anybody. Lucian finally gets the shutdown and the pickup off onto Monkey. Oh, Joe Mama also be the one taken down, but here comes the final boss, Scion. Ulti's on directly into the Nocturne's face, and he is the first, I think, of many that will be falling here shortly. Akali and the rest of Boundless do find their way actually out, so thank God for that. 1 for 2 in that little team fight, but that Scion is so scary. Look at him.
These guys are pushing limits. Like, they couldn't win the 5v4, so they're like, let's do a 5v3 instead. Like, dude, I mean, sure. Like, the only way that that fight looked good was because Locke and now instead of Scion splitting, or Scion being in the fight, Scion was splitting. So now Locke and Scion are both splitting. So then they find 3 people to fight on. So yes, that gave them something to play off of. So what I just want to see, I don't want to see splitting anymore, because clearly, like if I'm red team, I'm looking at blue team, I feel like they're gonna fight us on mid wave. I also don't like the fact that they keep walking up to these mid waves super high without like proper control. Yeah, this is what I want to see. I want to see just a death ball. You guys as 5 are so strong. Walk up to this dragon, take the soul, just start a random fight, and just win through stat check. Like, your lock is 5 items. 10 stacks on Mage Eyes. He has Seekers now. He's level 17. Oh, it's so doomed.
It's rough, and like, I don't know why people love side splitting when your team fight is like, we win every single time if we're grouped as 5. Let's win this last team fight, let's push, and then we'll just end it from there. But you know, still, you know, I think they're just trying to play methodically. They gave up a big what's it called? They gave up a big lead before, and they don't want to do the same thing again. I don't know what's
I
that
think the
paranormal.
side splitting. I think he was trying to steal the Drake with the Farsight, but it just wasn't enough. I think the side splitting is fine. I don't have an issue with the side splitting. I think that the middle 3, whoever's in mid lane, needs to be very careful and wait for someone to match, because you're not trying to like Lock and Sion were in side lane, but nobody showed on side lane, which means there's 5 people mid. Or that's the way you should think about it. So you just don't want to give them split. Let your split pushers get a lot of pressure on the map, and then do something with that pressure. That's all I want to see. So splitting is fine, but obviously at this point you could just group up as 5. You have Soul, and your lock is strong.
And you have this Scion. Look at him.
Yeah, this guy's just gonna walk up and take every turret on the whole rift.
He's gonna take every ability, every turret, every tower shot. It doesn't matter. Oh, here we go. The flash forward, the cease and desist onto the Lucian, and yep, I think this might be the beginning of the end sequence here. For this series, unfortunately. They have all the members up for the side of Church of Hjalte. Boundless Maw down 1 member now for the next 30 seconds. That tier 3 looking mighty juicy here with all those crystals on it. Does get bursted down. Akali's looking to do a reset for a final push. Alamo style here. Let's see what they're able to do. They're moving now to the bot lane, so no, just looking to get... Just, again, methodical play, battle of attrition, open up mid.
Sion took like 3 turret shots and healed HP. Like,
this is disgusting. Look at him. Look at him.
How much HP does he have? Let me see. He has 6k.
Dear God. You need a vein. You need a vein to deal with that.
Yeah, honestly. Or just anything, just knowledge. Okay, so they're gonna reset here. Probably play the next Baron and then close it down the next sequence.
He has an LDR.
Yeah, but it's a Lucian with an LDR. Like, that guy's not gonna kill the Sion.
No, not this time. Yeah, and oh yeah, good point there, Setsunai. Triple Mountain Soul on top of all that, by the way, for the Scion. Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I think this game is just doomed, bro.
Yeah, they're just waiting it out, I guess. I don't really know.
I guess we'll see. Like, I guess the success at this point for Boundless Maw is gonna be like, can we kill 1 or 2 people, or do we get 5-man ace for free? Let's see if they can maybe kill a Nami or a Victor. I just don't like their draft.
I don't either. Like, it was just a really off. Like, there was no cohesiveness between all of these picks. You know. The Nocturne just has no follow up, like you said. Like, he goes in, and it's like, okay, now what? Nobody else is there with you.
Yeah, you drafted like basically 2 resource-intensive side lanes, and neither of them are amazing scaling champions. Like, they scale pretty well, but you're not gonna outscale like a Victor or a Locke. Actually, Locke scale, or like a Scion. Like, you're not gonna outscale these champs.
No, definitely not. And I'm just waiting for that trigger to be pulled here from Scion. The knockback from Malio already went through. Here comes the ultimate, runs right into the tier 1 tower. Love to see it. And they are just waiting patient. They still have the cease and desist, though, from Vi to lock down somebody if they so choose. Scion taking every ability known to man and then getting healed up by Nami. That's just disrespectful. The Nami heal is uncalled for. But that's all right. Waves are pushing,
Yeah,
though.
they're... I was gonna say, like, they have inside track onto mid turret with their
I don't even know what the hell's going on right now. The paranoia and wraparound from Nocturne. He's just going. Here's the Cole. Gets started. Gets stopped just as easily. The knock up though from Sion. Here's the cease and desist from Vi onto the background. Here goes Lucian. Moki's on legendary status, 11-0. There's just so much action. People are falling left and right on the side of Church, and that's a double kill. 4 members down. This should be the end now. Only person that died was Nami.
They got one.
They did.
It's a W. They got to double-digit kills.
I don't know what the game plan was with the draft overall. Like, game number 2 was crazy good. Game number 2 was crazy good. Game number 1 was an amazing turnaround from Church, but I don't know if it's just like, on paper, maybe this sounds good, or what exactly the idea was behind their drafting process this third game. But, I don't know. Boundless Ma, they had everything in the bag, like, from the get-go of this game, it seems like. Or no, other way around, I'm sorry. Church Hjalte won. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's such an interesting series. Like looking back, I guess I don't know if there's much else to say. I think for game three, I think Boundless Ma just respectfully they grief draft. I think that was an awful draft.
Yeah.
And I think Church of Hjalte played their draft pretty well. But I think the interesting part about this series is this is the first game where Church of Hjalte actually won the early game, and they were able to, I would say, close the game out pretty well. I think in game 1 and game 2, they lost both early games, but game 1, they just had a better scaling composition, so they were able to, I guess, win the game. I think Boundless Ma, this is the second time that they drafted I would say not a necessary. I think this game is definitely early to mid game. I think their game 1 draft was more mid game. I think they have good late game, but their late game is worse than Hjalte's late game. So I think that's why they lost. But then game 2 they drafted scaling and then they won. And then game 3 the scaling team won. And then game 1 the scaling team won. So I'm seeing a pattern. It's like just draft scaling. You don't need to draft because like you can win, but the burden of execution is so high, and especially in a coordinated environment where those types of picks that I think the Victor gave too many are not going to happen that often. Against a team that doesn't even give you those picks, you probably are going to end the game with like 0 kills. So like, I honestly, great job to Hjalte for sticking it out for game 1. Unfortunately, game 2, it was just kind of unplayable.
Yeah.
But then they went back to what they did in game 1 for game 3, and then they came out with the win. So really good job to Hjalte. Good takeaways. So what do you think about the series as a whole?
I thought it was a fantastic showing from both teams. Church of Hjalte, has a couple of things that they still need to work on as well, but this just goes to show you how powerful mental actually is in League of Legends. This series right here, you know what I mean? It was pretty rough for both teams throughout each of these games, but really, game number 1, coming back from a ridiculous 12K gold lead, right? And then losing game number 1, and then coming back in game number 2 like it never even happened. And then, and winning in that regard in such a commanding fashion, and then again, Church of Hjalte coming back in game number 3, really locking down, analyzing the draft. I just think this is a great example of like just perseverance, sticking with your teams, making the right call outs, and at the end of the day, just really playing the game all the way through and through. So that's the kind of takeaways that I'm getting from this game or this series overall. It was really, really shaky here for both of them. So, the rest of Elder, including yourself, you're going to be versing these guys. Definitely have to take a look at their draft and just be like, okay, are they going to pull out some crazy shit like they did that one time? And are we going to be able to match it? Or what are we going to be able to do here? But I'm really liking the shenanigans in Elder here so far.
Yeah, really good series overall. I mean, in general, for nothing else, they were very like fun games to watch. They're very competitive. I'm glad that we got a 3-game series, and it wasn't just like a 2-0 sweep. So overall, yeah, I mean, Elder's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to playing some of these guys as well. Good job to both teams. Rocky games for some of them, but they did manage to eke out at least 1 win each. So yeah, great job. I am looking forward to playing with you guys or playing against you guys.
Yes, sir. And do you know what round you guys were versing each other? You don't have to go look it up. If you don't know off the top of your head, that's okay.
Do not know off the top.
Got you. Well, that's all right, though. But we are going to go ahead and call it an evening on this very great series here. I got to say, definitely not what I expected in terms of just draft. And again, thank you so much, Chaos, for your wonderful, beautiful brain and being able to join us here tonight for this hectic series between Boundless Ma and Church of Hjalte. I hope it gave you some good insight. I had a wonderful time casting with you, my friend. Any closing remarks you want to give out to the people here before we close out for the evening?
Oh, thank you for allowing me to cast. It's always a great time being on cast with you, Ryan Lyon. Had a lot of fun. And maybe we'll do this again. I'm sure I'm gonna be around for some other Elder Games this series or this season. So yeah, really excited. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to you as well. But thank you so much, everybody who tuned in tonight, from the players to all the viewers. Again, huge shout out to Raging Raider with the 5 community gifted subs earlier. Huge thank you, Papa, for that. And all the follows that we guys got today. Thank you for all the constant support. We're looking forward to more. And tomorrow we do have another game, and if I'm not mistaken, it is another Elder Division matchup between Akasha and Vancouver Impact Challengers. I think that is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Not 100% sure who's casting just yet, but definitely stay tuned for those notifications. But I'm your boy Ride Lion here. I had, again, Chaos with me. Thank you so very much for that, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace, y'all.
Good night, everyone.